We're back on this Tuesday morning, the 11th day of February, the year 2003. It is a cold and blustery day here in Midtown Manhattan. Wintry weather, but we're sure these folks have cold hands and warm hearts. We're not sure, but we're hoping so. We're happy they've decided to begin their morning with us. Lenny. Hi, Lenny. My mom always asks about Lenny. I think it's so cute. Meanwhile, back inside Studio 1A, I'm Katie Couric along with Matt Lauer. And still to come this morning on Today, protecting your children from a terrorist attack with the country on a heightened state of alert. A special conference focusing on kids and terror is getting underway today in Washington, D.C. We'll have a preview a bit later and some important advice for parents. Matt?
Then on a much lighter note, Oscar Mania will get the scoop on the nominees announced today. Also ahead, some more bad news for the King of Pop. After his revealing interview last week, now new information about Michael Jackson's relationship with children is coming out, and he wants to make sure that people understand his side of the story. We're going to fill you in on the facts.
But, Matt, we begin this half hour with our special series leading up to President's Day. And this morning, a candid conversation with Bill Clinton. He's still a lightning rod who elicits strong emotions from both supporters and detractors. One of the most controversial presidents in American history.
Solemnly swear.
I, William Jefferson Clinton, do solemnly swear.
William Jefferson Clinton, 42nd President of the United States, and the first two-term Democratic president elected in the last 6 decades.
Midnight!
At 56, Bill Clinton is the youngest ex-president since Theodore Roosevelt.
You know, I never landed on the back lawn of the White House and walked in that back door that I didn't feel a thrill every single day. And I felt more idealistic about my country on the day I left office than the day I came in.
When it comes to adjusting to so-called regular life, what's the biggest bummer? Flying commercial?
No, actually, believe it or not, I like it. I like flying commercial. I mostly fly when I go overseas commercial or when I take the shuttle back from Washington to New York, because I try to go down and check on Hillary once a week, just kind of be around. But I get to see people. I love living in the White House, but I never thought I could do that for life. The thing I miss most is the work and the people that I worked with and saw. But I actually like this part of my life. I like having my life back.
In this month's edition of the Atlantic Monthly, James Fallows writes, Clinton had the worst beginning of an ex-presidency since Richard Nixon flew to San Clemente in 1974. Certainly you did ignite a firestorm of criticism with your pardon of Mark Rich. Had you the opportunity to do it over again, would you have pardoned him?
No, I would have waited and let President Bush do it, because Vice President Cheney's chief of staff was his main lawyer. And there would have been no media firestorm, and he wouldn't be being investigated. That only happens to us. There's a double standard there. It's been 2 years now, and the Justice Department has not charged him. So if I was wrong, and they're right, why don't they charge him and get the taxpayers some money? I'm still waiting.
The most well-traveled president in history, with visits to 133 countries while in office, he hasn't slowed down since leaving the White House. He's visited 47 different countries in the last 2 years. And though his domestic constituents may give him mixed reviews, he's greeted by cheering crowds virtually everywhere he goes.
It's also fun to be in a place where our crowd is still in office, and I'm glad to be here.
But it's Africa which has caught his attention most. Today, President Clinton is wielding his political clout and influence to fight the AIDS epidemic ravaging the continent.
We could have as many as 100 million people infected by the end of the decade. And if that happens, it will threaten new democracies. 2/3 of the cases are in Africa. But the fastest growing rates are in the former Soviet Union first, second in the Caribbean on our back door, third in India, the world's biggest democracy, almost 1 billion people, and fourth in China, the world's biggest country. So the consequences are terrible. So what I'm trying to do is to go from country to country with my foundation.
It's a long way from Hope, Arkansas, where William Jefferson Clinton was born. Young Bill knew from an early age politics was his destiny. As a participant in Boys Nation, this well-known photo from 1963 shows him meeting his idol, President John F. Kennedy.
And I was the biggest kid there, so I made sure that I got to shake hands with him. And I remember just thinking, what an incredible country.
He appeared on the national stage 25 years later as he delivered his first speech at a Democratic convention, remembered as one of the lengthiest convention speeches in history.
In closing,
while politics has been a way of life, much of his time these days is spent working on his memoirs, giving speeches to pay his $1 million in legal bills, and raising money to build the Clinton Presidential Library in Little Rock.
On the second floor, there'll be an exact replica of the Oval Office.
You've said, quote, this is going to be more than a little shrine to me. I understand in addition to millions of documents and photos, it will be home to the best Elvis collection outside of Graceland. Is that true?
I don't know if it's the best Elvis collection outside of Graceland, but I've got a lot of Elvis memorabilia. I've got a picture from the original print of his trip on the train in 1955 from Tupelo up to Memphis, which became the title of Peter Guralnick's great biography, Last Train to Memphis. I've got a picture of him on the stage in the early 50s in another city. If you want it worse than they do.
And he continues to speak out on issues at home and abroad.
Let me ask you about Iraq. Is war inevitable?
No, but Saddam Hussein's going to have to disarm. I mean, if he wants to avoid war, he's going to have to disarm. What I hope will happen is that we will let the process play out enough to maximize our international support. I'd really like to see the whole UN with us, and I think there's a chance that they will be. I thought Secretary Powell gave best part of his presentation, which I thought was quite effective, as he always is, was showing those pictures of the trucks taking stuff out the back door before the inspectors could get in the front door, because that raised the prospect that Mr. Blix and his group, who are very vigorous, wouldn't get to do the job we hired them to do. And then, of course, those transcripts were pretty condemning, too.
And yet many of the allies, or some of the allies, are unmoved. France still having issues, Russia now, Germany, Belgium, with France and Germany having problems within NATO, giving military supplies to Turkey. How critical is this ally support? Is it a cause for concern, or do you think ultimately they will come around?
I think they will come around if they believe that we gave the whole inspection and UN process a fair chance. They all know he's a murderer, a liar, and a thug. They would all like it if he were gone. That's not what's going on here. Here's what's going on. They don't want to look like they were railroaded into going by the UN. And they have the feeling that we went to the UN, but we didn't really mean it, that we've always just wanted to go to war. So we need to look like we're determined but not eager to go to war.
But if the United States waits too long, will it look as if this country is trying to win a popularity contest and abrogating its leadership role?
No. First of all, we're the strongest military in the world, and he's weaker than he was during the Gulf War. So as long as we're determined to see that he's disarmed, and even if we have to have a conflict, you can always kill somebody next week as well as this week, but you can't bring them back to life. And I think that the patience that has been shown so far is good.
Do you think the U.S. should wait for a second Security Council resolution authorizing force?
As a matter of international law, I don't think we have to.
Do you think that U.S. should wait politically?
I don't think the President needs another Security Council resolution as a matter of international law. I think politically, if he could get it, it would be great, for the simple reason that if we have to go without another UN resolution, if we have to go and European powers or Russia or China are vocally opposed to this, then there will always be the suggestion that this was in effect a preemptive strike. Now, I know the administration has said preemptive strikes may be justified in some places, but we've never done that. And democratic powers normally wait to get hit before they hit. On the other hand, if it is the UN carrying out the UN mandate, and we're doing this because for 12 years he has defied the UN mandate to disarm, that is not a preemptive strike. It's a police action designed to protect the world from chemical and biological weapons. And I want the UN and the international community to be stronger and more united when it's over than when we started.
You're the youngest ex-president since Teddy Roosevelt. You're 56 years old, so you're a bit young to talk about your legacy. But having said that, what do you hope historians will write about your presidency?
I hope they will say that I did a good job of leading America into a new century, a new millennium, and a whole new way of working and living and relating to the rest of the world. That I lifted the American people up and brought them together. No one ever solves all the problems, and no policies are ever written in stone, and all policies can be reversed. But if you move in the right direction and people are better off when you finish than when you started, that's about all you can expect from politics in a free society, and I think on that scorecard we did pretty well.
Tomorrow, in part 2 of our conversation, former President Clinton talks about North Korea, the current state of the Democratic Party, and what he considers his biggest regrets, both professionally and personally. Now let's head outside to Al Roker for another check of the weather.
Today's weather is brought to you by Hallmark. Send a card, they'll never forget you remembered.
And good morning, everybody. Standing out here, it is cold, 15 degrees right now. And let's see, you got Susan Sneed here. Where are you from, Susan?
Marion, Virginia.
And let's see, Susan's niece, her great niece, another great niece, and your sister.
Sister!
Wow, the Sneed family. Any relation to Slammin' Sammy Sneed?
What?
Any relation to Slammin' Sammy Sneed?
No, he doesn't spell his name right.
No. He's her brother's sister.
He does not spell his name right.
Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, I'm sorry I asked.
That's
Okay, we're going to move on because it's a Sneed. Don't want to get him in a snit or a Sneed. Right now, it is 31 degrees below zero in Watertown, New York. Air temperature, 19 in Boston, 10 below in Bradford, 17 in New York City. The wind chill makes it feel like it's 8 below in New York City. Watertown, it feels like it's 46 degrees below zero. That's cold. As far as highs for the day, we're looking at temperatures getting into the single digits in the plains and in the teens here in the Northeast. So it is going to be cold. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning, everyone. We have a very chilly morning out there, and we're expecting some more snow showers for today. We could see up to 1 inch of accumulation throughout the daytime hours, and we're expecting a high of 24. Then for tonight, continued snow showers, an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation. Our overnight low, 10 degrees. And now taking a look into our extended forecast, partly cloudy skies for tomorrow, a high around 20 degrees. Mostly cloudy for Thursday, a high of 25.
Your latest weather now back inside to Katie.
Okay, Al, thank you so much. Coming up later on today, we'll have all the razzle-dazzle of today's Oscar nominations. Meanwhile, up next, Michael Jackson, still reeling from last week's documentary, is fighting back. We'll tell you how after these messages.
This Valentine's Day, get the Hallmark From My Heart Bear and hide a surprise inside. It's just $5.95 when you buy 3 Hallmark cards, only at your Hallmark Gold Crown store.
Are you taking Allegra for your seasonal allergies yet? Whoa! I guess not. Allegra for multi-symptom relief. See your doctor for people 12 and over. Side effects are low and may include headache, cold, or back pain. Allegra, it's time to switch.
Can't find the time to eat right? Campbell's introduces new Soup at Hand. 4 hot, satisfying soups in new sippable Heat and Go cups. It's amazing what you can do with new Campbell's Soup at Hand. Good.
Introducing the Saturn Ion, specifically designed and engineered for whatever's next.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Find the perfect Valentine's Day gifts from JCPenney, like this sparkling diamond accent pendant and delicious chocolates in a Valentine gift set. It's all inside. JCPenney.
How good is Ragu's new meat sauce? So good, it'll get them out of the kitchen. Now Ragu makes it the same way you do, with half a pound of meat. New Ragu Rich and Meaty.
What does it mean?
I think it's something about Mom in a spinning class.
Somewhere between the Mayan ruins, the ice rink, the horseback riding, and the rock wall, it hits you. This is way more than a cruise. See for yourself at RoyalCaribbean.com and get out there.
Donnie, will you be my Valentine?
When I first met my girlfriend, I didn't know what to say or what to give
Will
her.
you be my Valentine?
But now I've gotten better at both.
This Valentine's Day, how do you tell her your love has come a long way?
Be my Valentine?
A diamond heart pendant from Kay Jewelers would be a great start. And you can be assured of two things. First, that Kay diamonds are hand-selected for exceptional beauty. And second,
It's beautiful.
that she'll absolutely love it.
My Prince Charming.
Every kiss begins with K.
NBC Thursday, a hero's return.
What are you doing, Luca?
And the moment she never expected
What do you want?
will arrive.
I want to marry you.
An all-new ER, NBC Thursday.
Michael Jackson has lived his life in the spotlight, but now the glare may be getting a little too bright for him. More details are emerging about his relationship with children, and the pop star is fighting back. Here's NBC's George Lewis.
Today, there's major negative fallout from Michael Jackson's TV interview. A former Jackson publicist says the singer is committing career suicide.
Suicide's not something I recommend for people, and public suicide certainly not something I recommend for my clients.
In that interview, Jackson talked about going to bed with children.
When you say bed, you're thinking sexual. They make that sexual. It's not sexual.
But now, on the internet, there's this 1993 sworn declaration from a 13-year-old boy claiming, quote, Michael Jackson had sexual contact with me on many occasions. A source connected with the case tells NBC News the document is genuine and that Jackson paid more than $20 million to settle a lawsuit filed by the boy's father. 10 years ago, Jackson also was the subject of extensive criminal investigations in Los Angeles and Santa Barbara counties.
I am totally innocent of any wrongdoing, and I know these terrible allegations will all be proven false.
The authorities never did file a criminal complaint against Jackson, but his behavior with children continues to draw fire. Today, a Beverly Hills psychiatrist says she plans to file a complaint against Jackson with Child Protective Services officials. She cites the incident last November when Jackson dangled one of his children from a hotel balcony and says his televised remarks reveal a deeply troubled man.
I'm not saying we should punish him by taking his children away. I'm saying they should be put in a safe with people who will keep them safe until he gets psychiatric treatment.
Jackson claims he was betrayed in the interview, that it was unfairly edited. He says he plans to release his own footage from those interview sessions. For Today, George Lewis, NBC News, Los Angeles.
And we'll be back on a Tuesday morning right after these messages.
And there's more efficient use of space.
Great. Just talked to the guy at Office Depot. Everything's going to be fine.
Terrific. Office Depot sells office products to more of the world than anyone, so we know how to help you get better organized.
It looks good.
Office Depot. What you need to know.
Only in theaters. Mind if I drop in?
Papa Bear!
Discover the next chapter of one of Disney's most beloved animated classics, The Jungle Book 2, rated G. Oh, yeah! John Goodman and Haley Joel Osment starts February 14th.
Good night, Mowgli.
I knew she was trouble.
This mess calls for brawny.
Only Brawny paper towels have scrubbing circles for scrubbing strength. Brawny, it might be too strong.
We're home.
Hey, what should we do for dinner?
I'll whip up one of my favorite recipes.
Recipes?
You don't have any recipes.
I have a whole box of them.
New family-style recipes from Stouffer's. Recipes your family loves. Served family style.
How about chicken cordon bleu pasta with white meat chicken, tender ham, and peas in a Parmesan Swiss cheese sauce?
Somebody's been watching too many cooking shows.
New family-style recipes from Stouffer's. Recipes for a relaxing dinner.
You may have a future here.
Stouffer's, nothing comes closer to home.
No running, no pushing, and don't touch anything.
What am I saying?
This is Pier 1.
Hurry in. It's the Pier 1 bedroom sale.
Use your indoor voice.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow Mix comes in 2 varieties, original and seafood middles. Tastes so good, cats ask for it by name.
Meow, meow, meow.
Great. Now that song's going to be stuck in my head all day.
Meow.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yo. Can I write a check?
Yo.
Yow.
Yo.
Yow. Yow. Yow.
Yo.
Can I write a check?
Yo.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
Yo.
Gee. Yo, gee.
Yo.
Every day, the Northeast wakes up to billions of allergens, from dogs and dust to mold and maples. That's why there's Clarinex. Clarinex provides receptor protection to help block histamine. Get 24-hour non-drowsy allergy relief anywhere, anytime. Side effects are similar to sugar pill, including sore throat, dry mouth, and fatigue. Indoor allergies, outdoor allergies, wherever. Talk to your doctor about Clarinex.
What better place to test Scott Choose-A-Size towels than here? They need help.
Choose a size lets you use just what you need. A big towel for Charlie's chili or a little one for Polly's pesto.
Scott Choose-A-Size towels. Common sense on a roll.
Now time for a little blast from the past.
What would the little boy in you want to do if the little girl in me asked you to come out and play with me?
Well, the big boy in me tells me not to answer that or we'll be off the air.
That is former Family Feud host and, as Al likes to point out, cast member of Hogan's Heroes, Richard Dawson, back in 1968 on the popular game show The Dating Game, answering a question about what a little boy would do if a little girl asked him to come out and play. He must have done pretty well because he ended up with the girl and ended up going to Costa del Sol in Spain with his date.
Nice threads, by the way. And that's our way of telling you that this week on our series, From Iraq to This, Today Gets Personal, we'll create that show's magic with the game's original host, Jim Lang, as we try to find dates for our bachelor and bachelorette, Don and Monica, and that should be fun. Monica's turn is tomorrow, and I've been trying to help her come up with some good questions.
Well, first you come up with a possible date, and now you're doing the questions, too. You should just go on the date.
Maybe I'll be the chaperone.
Didn't they have chaperones in the old dating game?
Yeah. How about this? Monica, Phoebe, or Rachel? Which friend do you prefer?
Ross.
I think that's a good question.
Lesson 1. Did you know a dog's muscles are rebuilt about every 45 days? In fact, his entire body is constantly rebuilding. But without enough protein in his food, the whole process slows down. That's why Purina One adult formulas are scientifically formulated with an unsurpassed level of high-quality protein to help you enhance your dog's life by keeping him strong and fit. Purina One brand. One can make a difference.
What if you could capture radiance in a bottle? Now you can with an amazing facial moisturizer from Aveeno. Positively Radiant Daily Moisturizer. Only Aveeno has an exclusive soy complex shown to soften and even tone, while natural light diffusers give your skin a healthy glow. Let your natural radiance shine through. Aveeno Positively Radiant Moisturizer. Discover nature's secret for naturally radiant skin.
Low prices, always.
There's a reason RE/MAX agents average more sales than other real estate agents. They want every transaction to be as perfect as possible.
Can you fly?
RE/MAX. Outstanding agents. Outstanding results.
It's LensCrafters' best $99 offer ever.
Right now, get a complete pair of glasses with DuraLens, our most scratch-resistant plastic lens for only $99. The $99 DuraLens event. This is one you don't want to miss.
Hurry, offer ends February 22nd. Marie Callender began every recipe the same way, with care. And her chicken pot pie was no exception. Marie used big, tender chunks of juicy white meat chicken, farm-fresh vegetables, and a golden flaky crust she always made from scratch. Marie Callender put her heart into everything she made. And to this day, we're still making it Marie's way. Marie Callender's chicken pot pie has a delicious golden flaky crust that's still made from scratch in your grocer's freezer, made with the care of Marie.
Ask me anything about cranberries. I spent a good part of my life knee-deep in them. But when it came time to start figuring out retirement, all that, I was in over my head. I don't admit that very often. I found someone I trusted, and we put together a whole plan. Now I don't have to think about it too much. Suits me fine.
Retirement and estate planning from Mutual of Omaha. It's never too late to start planning for tomorrow. Begin today.
Hi, Paul Moser here from Flagship Auto Center in Kenton. Here to tell you the one place to go for your car, truck, van, or SUV, because our everyday prices beat other dealers' sale prices. We are your one place to go for the area's largest selection of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. You always get a great deal at Flagship, and we stand behind what we sell to keep you rolling year after year.
Begin your new look at Hutchison Fine Furniture. Hi, I'm Mendy. Our professional design staff can help you coordinate your rooms to give your home this polished look. When you're ready to buy your draperies, wall coverings, or case goods, carpeting, upholstery, or accessories, we will help you blend it together at no charge. That's right, we don't just sell furniture, we help design your dreams.
At Hutchison's you'll find you can afford your dreams.
Good morning, everyone. I'm April Wink. We'll have a look at our forecast in just a moment. But first, in local news, Lima City schools may see an unexpected cut to this year's budget. All of the Allen County's districts, Lima schools stand to lose the most in state support if the legislature does not approve a package of tax increases proposed by the Taft administration. The governor announced Friday that $1.4 million in cuts would come from Allen County schools, $600,000 from the Lima system.
We're already looking at where we can reduce budgetary items, but we're primarily looking for next year. The problem, again, is that this year's budget is 3/4 in place and has already been expended. So that makes it even more difficult for any school district to make this type of adjustment this late in the year.
McEwen adds that the money for the new school buildings came from the Ohio School Facilities Commission, which is completely separate from the dollars in the fund to be cut. Taking a look now at our weather forecast, it's 9 degrees outside. We're going to be seeing a chance of possibly 1 inch of snow accumulation and a high of 24 degrees. And then for tonight, we're going to be seeing a continued chance of snow in our forecast, possibly 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation and an overnight low of 10 degrees. Now look at tomorrow's forecast. It's calling for partly cloudy skies, very cold for tomorrow with a high of only 20 degrees. Now into our extended forecast. On Thursday, we're going to be seeing mostly cloudy skies with a high of 25 degrees and an overnight low of 16. On Friday, that snow is going to be coming back into the forecast and continuing on into Saturday. Saturday, a high of 30 degrees.
It's coming, the big one, the 38th Annual Camp and Travel Regional RV Show, February 14th through the 16th at the Seagate Center in downtown Toledo. See what's new for 2003. Over 100 RVs from the area's top dealers, all under one roof. Admission discounts are available through many local banks and participating RV dealers. Bring the family to the Camp and Travel Regional RV Show, February 14th through the 16th at the Seagate Center in downtown Toledo. We'll see you there.
When ABC Warehouse asked me to do this commercial, I didn't quite see the tie-in between me, the father of our country, and ABC, the brand name leader in appliances and electronics. And then I remembered, yes, in 1776, it was chopping a cherry tree. Today, it's chopping prices.
Now get front-loading washers, some starting from only $347 or less.
The ABC Warehouse Washington's birthday sale. Why go shopping when you can go chopping?
MPS now has 12 centers. To celebrate our grand opening in Lansing, Michigan, you can join for as little as $19.95 a week. Call 2213-MPS.
This is WLIO Lima.
And we're back at 8 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. It's the 11th day of February 2003. You're looking at a crowd gathered, kind of shivering against the elements outside our studio here in Rockefeller Center. And a fact to shed a little light on this overcast morning, today is the birthday of Thomas Alva Edison. What did I say?
Well, it's not overcast.
Well, you see, that's what it said. Overcast morning, and I'm looking down. I'm now seeing the sun streaming down 49th Street.
Well, it was heretofore overcast.
No, it was just dark this morning. The sun wasn't up.
It is now a beautiful sunny day. It also still is the birthday of Thomas Alva Edison. He was the inventor of the light bulb and the motion picture camera. He was also the founder of our parent company, General Electric. Thomas Edison was born in Milan, Ohio on this date back in 1847.
So happy birthday, Mr. Edison.
Whatever. Meanwhile, back inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer along with Katie Kirk and Al Roker. And coming up in this half hour, she built one of the most successful real estate agencies in the highly competitive New York City market without any formal business training. Now, real estate mogul Barbara Corcoran shares the secrets of her success in a new book, and she's going to be here to tell us about that in just a few minutes.
And then the heightened terror threat raises concerns for many Americans, particularly parents. We're going to be talking with some experts about how to prepare your family for the possibility of an attack. Plus, on a much lighter note, needless to say, reactions to today's Oscar nominations, including a live interview with some of the cast members of Chicago.
That's right. But before we get to that, let's swing over to the news desk. Lester Holt of MSNBC is continuing to fill in for Ann this morning. Lester, good morning.
Matt and Katie and Al, good morning again. Hello, everyone. The NATO nations trying to deal with one of the biggest rifts in the military alliance's history today. They're meeting this morning to discuss the refusal by France, Germany, and Belgium to allow planning for the defense of fellow NATO member Turkey. Turkey fears it might be attacked by Iraq if there is a war. Monday, President Bush said he's disappointed by the dispute. The heads of the FBI and the CIA are testifying this morning in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee, telling lawmakers how the U.S. is more prepared for a terror attack than it was before 9/11. It comes 4 days after the Bush administration raised the terror threat alert level to orange, or high. Britain stepped up its anti-terror patrols today. British troops began guarding London's Heathrow Airport this morning. Tanks are lined up at the airport. Police fear al-Qaeda might use the end of a Muslim holiday to mount attacks. Today, searchers in Texas and Louisiana are hunting for more wreckage from the shuttle Columbia, hoping the fragments will help investigators piece together what brought the shuttle down. Monday, NASA confirmed a piece of the left wing has been recovered. That could be crucial. NBC's Robert Hager has more on the investigation from the Johnson Space Center. Bob, good morning.
Morning, Lester. Well, the find's important because that left wing is the one that was heating up abnormally on re-entry and where all those sensors were failing. The piece is only 2 feet long, but its condition might provide clues. Meantime, the independent government board that's taking over the investigation from NASA is staging its first news conference today to lay out an agenda. Its chairman, retired Admiral Harold Gaiman, tells NBC News the investigation will be far-reaching.
We're going to follow up on the interesting hot leads, but our charter includes a much broader range of possibilities.
The board will look at NASA's overall performance and attention to safety. And to review questions such as whether Columbia's wing could have been damaged on liftoff, the board will appoint its own experts.
This technical review panel will recommend to us independent testing or outside testing other than done by NASA that should be done to independently verify what NASA has found.
At an Air Force base in Louisiana, reporters got a close-up view of wreckage. Windows from the shuttle's flight deck, its cockpit. A huge number of badly charred heat-shielding tiles. A ring from a hatch door. Charred metal beams. And a piece of landing gear. In Israel, the flag-draped coffin of Israeli astronaut Ilan Ramon arrived home Monday to be buried today in a private ceremony. Today, the 2 American astronauts and 1 Russian up there in the International Space Station are being questioned by reporters about being stuck up there longer than expected, while NASA draws up plans to bring them back eventually in a cramped Russian space capsule.
Lester?
Okay, Bob, thanks. A Texas judge has ordered jurors in the Clara Harris murder trial to bring overnight bags with them, signaling that trial is coming to a close. Harris is the Texas dentist accused of intentionally running over her cheating husband. Monday, a Houston police investigator testified Harris drove over her husband at least 2 times. The defense claims it only happened once. Family and friends of Laci Peterson turned out Monday night to pray for her return on the day she was due to give birth to a baby boy. Peterson disappeared on Christmas Eve. Modesto, California police have investigated her husband but have not named him a suspect. Now here's Tom Brokaw with a look at what's coming up tonight on NBC Nightly News.
Thanks, Lester. Tonight, deep divisions in NATO. Why aren't America's closest allies uniting to fight Saddam? Also, the troubled American healthcare system. Is there a better way? We'll take a look at Canada's answer to healthcare problems tonight. Lester?
All right, thank you, Tom. Now 8:05, time for the weather. And Al.
Today's weather is brought to you by Little Debbie. Do something sweet for someone this Valentine's Day. Little Debbie snack cakes. Unwrap a smile today.
You had a question, sir?
I said, is Tom Brokaw always here?
Always here. He's always on duty. It's 24 hours. It's great. Welcome from Fairfax County, the public library there.
Virginia, busiest library system in the South.
All
We're
right.
happy to be here.
Well, we love our public libraries. Thanks for coming down. And we got some friends here from California. They brought strawberries. These are lovely. Wow, look at this. Huh?
There you go. There you go.
Those are good. Oh, they're frozen. Anyway, let's take a look. Show you what's going on as far as your weather's concerned. You really are frozen. What weather coming in from the south into Southern California. We've got some snow working its way through the mid-Ohio Valley. Flurries there. Look for some gale force winds, New England and the southeastern Atlantic coast. Fog in the Pacific Northwest. Sunshine in the midsection of the country and fog along coastal Texas. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning, everyone. We have a very chilly morning out there, and we're expecting some more snow showers for today. We could see up to 1 inch of accumulation throughout the daytime hours, and we're expecting a high of 24. Then for tonight, continued snow showers, an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation. Our overnight low, 10 degrees. And now taking a look into our extended forecast, partly cloudy skies for tomorrow, a high around 20 degrees. Mostly cloudy for Thursday, a high of 25.
Weather now back inside the man.
All right, Al, thank you very much. Up next, how prepared are we to protect our kids from terrorism and other disasters? We'll have advice for parents right after these messages.
Being in love can make a grown man cry. And girl, I'm in love with you.
Cover yourself in natural freshness with Tide Clean Breeze. The same great cleaning power of the Tide you love with a refreshing scent of clothes dried in a cool, clean breeze. Tide Clean Breeze.
The good old to-do list. Everybody's got one. Well, right now, the Home Depot is here to help. At the President's Day event, find everything you need to make your home better. Like Traffic Master Pioneer laminate flooring at a new lower price of just $1.48 a square foot, or install for $1.99 a square foot more. And right now, get free carpet pad with any purchase of carpet and installation. Get everything you need to get things done. The President's Day event right now, only at the Home Depot.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Find the perfect Valentine's Day gifts from JCPenney. Surprise her with this dazzling diamond heart pendant and romantic lingerie. It's all inside. JCPenney.
Could you please locate the complete medical records of Stephen B. Smith in Midville, Indiana?
Imagine a digital command center where a patient's medical history can be summoned up in seconds. GE Medical Systems Information Technology. Delivering digital medical information how it's needed.
Everything's going to be okay.
Fast.
Could you please find
the
June 94 MRI of Tom Henry's liver?
GE. Imagination at work.
Okay, crispy chicken sandwich and a Diet Coke.
Would you like to add on a snack-sized fruit and yogurt parfait for $1?
Absolutely. What, am I like the millionth customer or something?
No, ma'am. Anyone can add on from the dollar menu for just $1.
This sort of thing never happens to me. Are there going to be balloons and confetti?
Well, it comes with granola.
Yes!
Got a buck? You're in luck every day at McDonald's. With so many of your favorites on the dollar menu, you can build the perfect meal for you.
Yay! Woohoo!
When the government elevated the terror alert to orange or high on Friday, it raised questions for Americans across the country about how prepared families and communities are to cope with a possible terrorist attack. Today, a conference focusing on the needs of children during a disaster gets underway in Washington. Dr. Erwin Redlener is president of the Children's Health Fund. He'll be participating in the conference. And Abigail Adams is an instructor for the Red Cross's emergency preparation class. Dr. Redlener and Ms. Adams, good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Katie.
Erwin, let me start with you. Tell me about this meeting. Basically, what are you setting out to do?
Well, what we've done is we've gathered together 70 or more of the nation's leading experts in those issues which might affect children at the time of a terrorist attack. We wanted to bring everyone together to do two things. One is to take a inventory of what we already know about what needs to be done to help our children in the event of attack, and secondly, figure out what kinds of areas we need to explore further so we can get more information. And then all of this will be fed into the official disaster planning processes, both in the states and by the federal government, to make sure that everyone's thought about the specific issues that affect children.
And Erwin, aren't there so many things that we don't know? I mean, there are things that we should know and want to know, but what most concerns you, I guess, is the question about what's missing in any kind of plan.
Well, there are several things that I guess all of us are deeply concerned about. Developing consensus, for example, on exactly how we should implement a smallpox vaccination process with respect to children would be one thing. Another thing would be the use of the potassium iodide that we would give in the event of an attack or on a nuclear power plant or a dirty bomb. Like
to deal with radiation.
To deal with radiation, exactly. A third area might be specific medications and dosages that we need to understand in order to make sure that the responders to a disaster are doing the right thing for our children. So these are the kind of things that we are hoping that this group of experts over the next couple of days will arrive at some consensus around, or at least say, here's where we really need to focus some effort to come up with some answers.
Because a lot of things that are actually appropriate for adults aren't appropriate for children. For example, dosage amounts, decontamination showers,
yes,
for example, I understand that are appropriate for adults are dangerous for kids.
Absolutely, because you know when people are exposed to dangerous chemicals in that kind of attack environment, we'd want to rush them to some place where we decontaminate them by taking off the contaminated clothing and then giving them basically showers to rinse off all the contamination. But for children who might be, especially young children who might be exposed to this kind of cold water dousing, can develop hypothermia and go into shock. So we need a different arrangement for children than we would with adults. And this is exactly the kind of thing that we think is important to lay out in as much detail as we can.
Erwin, for example, we heard about having Cipro on hand, you know, after September 11th.
Yeah.
Have they come up with what would be appropriate for kids, just as Cipro appropriate for adults? Because that's in pill form and it's very strong and can be very dangerous for kids.
Well, this is precisely the kind of thing that we're going to be talking about this next couple of days, because there are experts even within the pediatric community who say a particular dose is okay, and others say it should be less. Some say we shouldn't use Cipro at all and should use alternative antibiotics. But this is why it's vitally important that we have the experts come to some agreement about things like the dose of Cipro, or even if Cipro is appropriate. If so, we may even say it's appropriate right now as far as what we know, but this may have to change over time as we learn more, as we do more research. But we need a starting point that everyone can agree upon so that the emergency planners will know what the guidelines are for dealing with kids.
Right. Erwin, stand by for a second. I'm going to talk with Abigail. You teach a course called Preparing for the Unexpected through the Red Cross.
Right.
And you talk about sort of what is needed in the event of any emergency, not just a terrorist attack.
You know, our goal is to help people be prepared, families be prepared for any type of disaster or an emergency. And there's some simple steps, you know, that aren't overwhelming, things that you can put in place today.
For example, have a communications plan.
Right.
When you say that, what exactly do you mean?
Well, we find that often during a disaster you can't call locally. So if you have a contact person outside your immediate area, that person can be your conduit to tell everybody calls in and says, you know, I'm safe. That way it's a it's a reference point that everybody knows, and children need to know that, and parents need to know that.
And you're saying because local phone lines or
Often are
cells may be
tied,
jammed, in the place where the emergency is occurring. You're
It's
also
a basic thing.
You're also saying have a meeting place, Abigail. So should you have a different location, say on weekends, than you might during the week?
Well, it depends where you live, but
Right.
you know, we suggest 2 meeting places. One, if you need to leave your home quickly, that everybody goes to, maybe a block away. And then a central meeting place, because people are often in different spots. Their parents at work, kids at school, that everybody knows to go to.
You also say prepare a disaster kit. One sometimes if you are going to stay at your home, and one perhaps a to-go kit.
To-go kit.
What should be in this kit?
Well, there are 2 things that are absolutely essential that you need in your kit. It's a flashlight and a battery-operated radio. And then here we have some this is actually a very comprehensive kit. This would be for your home supply. If you had to stay in your house for about 3 days, we have food, we have a Mylar blanket to keep in warmth. We also recommend having a supply of extra medication, a map, because you're going to be listening to the radio to have approved travel routes. For the children, you want to have some toys if you have to leave to keep them occupied.
A favorite stuffed animal, something like that.
Absolutely.
An emergency kit, or first aid kit, rather.
First aid kit, right.
And you say enough food for 3 days, bottled water.
Bottled water, a gallon of water per person. And you can have smaller items. You know, there's also wonderful dried food.
And what do you have this for?
This isn't just, every home should have a fire extinguisher for immediate use.
All right, Erwin, I know that the Red Cross and actually FEMA has made it a point of having on their website that it's a good idea to have duct tape and sort of plastic sheets. Does that really protect a family against any kind of chemical or biological attack? And if that's the case, should they have sort of a safe room, if you will, where everything is sealed?
Well, you know, everything is relative in this situation. So what we're looking for is an increased level of safety. So the recommendation of having a central room in the house where your emergency supplies are kept, and that you can, as much as possible, seal off contact with outside air, so that if there are, say, chemical contaminants outside, that you'd have a much better chance of protecting your family from exposure to those things. It's not a bad idea. It's not easy to do either. So I think that the general idea is that we have to get ourselves in a mindset where if there were an emergency, we need to know what we do, as opposed to just getting into a panic situation if we did in fact confront one of those circumstances where we were under attack. And the more people think about this, without getting crazy over the details, just some sense of what we do, where we'd gather, and as we were just talking about, having a family communications plan, those kinds of things are really important. And then some basic understanding of, say, staying inside in a relatively sealed room being a good idea in the acute phases of a chemical attack if that happens in your area. It's not bad. It's also not perfect.
All right, Dr. Erwin Redlener, Abigail Adams, thank you both so much for coming in this morning. Talk about anxiety, huh, Erwin? Jeez.
Oh, yeah, this is a whole new world.
All right, Abigail, thanks to you. Appreciate it.
No, appreciate it.
Up next, a savvy New York businesswoman shares the secrets of her success. Wait a second, we're not ready yet. That's okay. That's right after this.
Okay.
When it comes to allergies, I'm a grass, ragweed, pet dander. But my allergy medicine wasn't approved for the pet dander. So it was either get rid of it or get rid of Rufus.
Does your allergy medicine treat your indoor and outdoor allergies? Unlike some allergy medicines, prescription Zyrtec is FDA approved for indoor and outdoor allergies. In studies, drowsiness was the most common side effect. Others included fatigue and dry mouth. Most were mild or moderate. Ask your doctor about switching to Zyrtec. Zyrtec. That's Zyrtec. Lots of allergies, just one Zyrtec.
Luxury has a unique ring to it, and true connoisseurs know that choice is the ultimate luxury. Fancy feast with more than 40 extraordinary selections for the refined palate. Good taste is easy to recognize.
When I first met my girlfriend, I didn't know what to say or what to give her. Now, I've gotten better at both.
A 3-stone diamond necklace from Kay Jewelers means 2 things. Every diamond is hand-selected, and she'll absolutely love it.
Every kiss begins with Kay.
I gotta go.
I need to apply for a loan.
Sure. Be right with you.
My bank will get you a lower rate.
We give you more options. Paperwork. We hire people to fill your paperwork out for
Now you can access LendingTree by phone. Call 1-800-555-TREE. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
This is your son's science project. This is Bag in Season. Combine your favorite meat and veggies with the seasoning mix in the bag for a delicious meal, leaving you plenty of time to help your son with his science project. Bag in Season from McCormick, the taste you trust.
What better place to test Scott Choose-A-Size towels than here? They need help.
Choose-A-Size lets you use just what you need. A big towel for Charlie's chili, or a little one for Polly's pesto.
Scott Choose-A-Size towels. Common sense on a roll.
Adding things to your cereal can be a hard habit to break. Luckily, there's Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch with sweet flakes, plump raisins, and honey oat clusters. All it needs to taste good is some ice-cold milk. Kellogg's Raisin Bran Crunch. Perfect as is. Maybe better.
I wanted to know.
I had H&R Block double-check last year's tax return. Free.
More than 500,000 people have taken the free double-check challenge at H&R Block. Those that overpaid got an average of $1,300 more.
They found over $2,000 my CPA missed.
I got $1,000. It's my money. I want it back.
It's your turn. See if we can help you get more back. Take the free H&R Block Double Check Challenge.
New York City has one of the most competitive and flashy real estate markets in the world, so it might surprise you to know that one of its biggest players has no formal business training at all. Her name is Barbara Corcoran, and she's chairwoman of the Corcoran Group, one of the city's most successful real estate agencies. Now she passes along some of her strategies that put her on top in Use What You've Got and other business lessons I learned from my mom. Barbara Corcoran, nice to see you. Good morning.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Matt.
You started your business 1973 with a $1,000 loan and no experience. In 2001, you sold the Corcoran Group for $70 million.
I wasn't paid enough. It was an awful lot of hard work.
It's a Cinderella story when you really come right down to it. Is that the way you see it?
Not really. You know, if you work the business as I had, and you had the terrible times that I had where I really was hanging on by my nails at different points in the process, you'd find that you didn't feel like Cinderella at all.
I mentioned you started with a $1,000 loan. It came from a guy you were dating at the time.
My boyfriend,
right.
And I slept with him.
Right, and okay. And in exchange for giving you that money, he took a cut of the business and actually took a cut of something else too, didn't he?
Well, actually, he took a 51% interest in the business, but then 8 years later, he announced that he was going to marry my secretary. So that was probably the worst business plan. I never expected that.
When you two broke up, didn't he say something to the effect of, "You'll never make it without me"?
He did me the wonderful favor on the way out the door. He said, "You'll never succeed without me." And I have to tell you, Matt, in the worst of times, when I was not thinking I could succeed for another minute, I would just remember those words and find some way to do it.
You say in the book that almost everything you needed to succeed you learned from your mom. Tell me about her. I mean, she must be some woman.
My mother is an amazing woman. She raised 10 children successfully.
You were the second oldest?
Second oldest, yeah.
Right.
There were many younger, one older. Mm-hmm. And my mother was an organizational genius, but what she did more than anything else for each of her children is she had the gift of underlining what she saw as the gift in each of her children. So for me, although I was a dyslexic child and did terrible at school and thought of myself there as a failure, when I came home, my mother said, "Don't you worry about it, Barbara Ann. You have a wonderful imagination. With that, you'll fill in all the blanks."
And lots of pearls of wisdom. And you know, I hope these are true. I mean, some of them sound too good to be true, but here's something she told you, quote, "If you don't have big breasts, put ribbons on your pigtails."
Absolutely.
What did she mean by that?
You know, I was working as a waitress in the Fort Lee Diner in New Jersey after college, and I couldn't compete with my buxom friend Gloria, who has, well, whatever.
Buxom describes it pretty much, yeah.
And when I was whining to my mother, which my mother did not tolerate, that I wasn't getting the men to come to my counter, they were all at Gloria's counter, she said, "Listen, Barbara, why don't you just put ribbons on your pigtails and stay as sweet as you are?" And you know what? It's so simple, but I did. I got those little red ribbons going. See, I carry one right here.
Right.
Okay. And at that counter, the men started seeing me as the alternative, as a sweet, innocent lady. You know, men like different things, and I did very well as a waitress.
Some of these little pearls of wisdom you turned into these marketing strategies. Another one was paint the rocks white and the whole yard will look lovely. And you kind of used that as a way, you know, you take the apartment you're marketing, you make it look the best it can, it'll sell.
Absolutely. There's something great in every individual, and there's something great integrate in every product you're selling. So I've always learned to try to figure out what that little nuance is and blow it up bigger than life. And people will get astounded by whatever you're exaggerating, and they'll buy in very easily. It's part of selling.
If you talk to your competitors in this very competitive real estate market,
they don't talk back.
No, most of them will say she's good at the business, but she's also very good at marketing Barbara Corcoran.
Absolutely. You realize here that we're in a New York City town that's no different than any other business environment, but you have to get noticed. And the best way to get noticed is to be a face in this town, to stand apart from the pack.
Be willing to get in front of the television cameras when they're talking about celebrity real estate. Get your name out there.
It's powerful. People will remember your name associated with it, and it speed forwards the development of a business. It's not sophisticated. Anyone could do it, but it has to have a little bit of common sense to it.
Who's getting a cut of this book? I hope Mom.
Mom isn't, but I treat
Mom doesn't get a cut of the book after it's all based on her wisdom?
My mother has tripled her popularity since the book came out. She's getting calls from people she didn't even know she had as friends.
Well, the book is called Use What You've Got and Other Business Lessons I Learned from My Mom. Barbara Corcoran, nice to have you here.
Thank you so much, Matt.
And we're back after these messages and your local news.
George Dunster here. During the month of February, we have a sweetheart of a deal for you. We are going to present a dozen roses to someone very special. Also, we are featuring the most popular car in Lima, the Sable. And here's Larry Krause to tell you about it. Larry, how long have you been with Lima Lincoln Mercury?
Been here 14 years. I can drive any vehicle off the lot. I've had 3 Sables in my family. Front-wheel drive, great gas mileage, and we'll bring it to you for a test drive. $299 a month, no money down, 0 financing. You can own a Sable.
This is your appetite talking, and this is a tasty alert. You're not gonna believe this, baby.
It's Arby's Mix and Match deal. Right now, you can get any combination of 5 regular roast beefs and beef and cheddars for just $5.95.
My, oh my.
3 and 2, 4 and 1, your choice.
Any way you mix them, it's a love match.
Don't miss Arby's 5 for $5.95 Mix and Match deal.
Give in to your grown-up tastes.
The Morning Report brought to you by Liberty Savings Bank. Finally, a checking account with no minimum balance and earns interest. Stop by and find out all about the Freedom Gold account, the freedom you deserve from a checking account.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Carpenter with your local news update. The trial of a Lima woman accused of running over her neighbor with her car is underway. A jury was seated yesterday to hear the case of Lisa Davenport, who's charged with voluntary manslaughter and aggravated vehicular homicide in the death of Vicki DeWitt. Opening arguments were held yesterday afternoon and laid out the scenario on the evening of July 17th. Our Jamie Winder was in court and has this report.
Prosecutors say the incident escalated when Vicki DeWitt and Lisa Davenport exchanged heated words about the dog. Then Davenport ran DeWitt over with her car.
She'll tell you in her own words. You're going to get to see a videotape of her statement, her own words, that she meant to hit her because she was mad.
But the defense says it was an accident, that Davenport was being attacked by DeWitt and family members. So she locked herself in her car and tried to get away.
She knows she moved it backwards. She knows she moved it forward. She did not see Vicki DeWitt in front of the car at the time she hit her. She did not realize that she had hit anybody until she was on top of them. She's not sure exactly what happened. This was a moment of high stress, high anxiety, and frankly, great fear.
Deputy Dog Warden Sean Feldner testified that neighbors, possibly DeWitt, seemed upset when he took the pit bull. DeWitt's brother-in-law told jurors that shortly after that, Davenport made an obscene gesture to DeWitt, and the two began arguing. He says that's when Davenport started her car and went after DeWitt.
Lisa's front fender got a hold of Vicki. She was trying to get away from the car like that, and every which way Vicki went, that's where she turned the wheel.
Finally, DeWitt's daughter, Crystal, says she saw Davenport run over her mother and tried to get the car off her.
Why are you trying to get her to turn the car off?
Because my mom's underneath the car and the car tires are spinning. I asked her if she had a jack or if she could turn the car off. She was sitting in the car, she was crying, she was going like this.
Jamie Winder, TV 35 News.
Let's take a look at your weather for today. It is 20, or expecting rather, to a high of 24 degrees today, and 1 inch of snow is likely. We'll see mostly cloudy skies, and winds out of the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, another 1 to 3 inches of snow. We'll see the overnight low drop to around 10 degrees. And for tomorrow, partly cloudy skies, very cold, with our daytime high topping out at 20.
Are you tired of renting? Then Olms & Delphus has a home for you. Ready to move in now with no money down. Single and double wide homes, modular homes with garages. Olms & Delphus in Van Wert now makes the American dream come true. Move into one of their 3 model homes now with no money down and pay as little as $395 a month, including lot rent. Quality manufactured homes built on your lot or ours. Make the move today to Olms with no money down and move in tomorrow. Call Olms & Delphus.
For information on how your plasma can help save lives, visit www.biolifeplasma.com.
WLIO Lima, WLIO-DT Lima.
Tonight, Jay's all new with Will and Grace's Megan Mullally, and from NBC News, Tim Russert. Plus, play Name That Sound. Then on Conan, Brendan Fraser and Tiffany Thiessen, all new tonight.
On this Tuesday morning, February the 11th. The year is 2003, and as we look at a crowd that's gathered outside our window, we want to let you know that we'll find out who the nominees are for the 75th Annual Academy Awards in this half hour. Who will get the nod? All that jazz of Chicago, the drama of the hours. The suspense is killing me. We're going to find out in just a few minutes.
Calm down, relax, it'll be okay.
I'm just hoping that I'm going to get an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress in my blockbuster role in Austin Powers, Goldmember.
I have to look down the list of potential nominees. I have not seen your name.
Meanwhile, I'm Katie Couric along with Matt Lauer. What else do we have coming up?
Well, we're going to talk to some of the people who get the Oscar nominations. Obviously a huge moment in their lives and their careers. And then Dave Karger of Entertainment Weekly is going to stop by to talk about what was expected and what surprises may occur.
And we're also going to heat things up in the studio because we're going to have a fashion show with models sporting some sexy Valentine's numbers.
Gotta go.
There's going to be something in that for me, too, by the way. All righty, then. All right, lots to get to, but first, here's a check. I'm blushing. Here's a check of the weather with Al.
Today's weather is brought to you by H&R Block and H&R Block Financial Advisors.
And good morning, everybody. A nice chilly crowd just hanging out here. Let's check your weather, see what's going on, and we'll show you as far as your weather is concerned for this half hour. Today, we're looking at wet weather in California. By tomorrow, they may have 1 inch to 2 inches in Southern California. Flurries in New England, windy conditions in the plains. For tomorrow, snow squalls the Great Lakes. More wet weather in the Southwest and Southern California into Central California. Sunny and mild through the Gulf Coast. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning, everyone. We have a very chilly morning out there, and we're expecting some more snow showers for today. We could see up to 1 inch of accumulation throughout the daytime hours, and we're expecting a high of 24. Then for tonight, continued snow showers, an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation. Our overnight low, 10 degrees. And now taking a look into our extended forecast, partly cloudy skies for tomorrow, a high around 20 degrees. Mostly cloudy for Thursday, a high of 25.
Crowd, where are you guys from?
From Miami, Florida.
From Miami, Florida. And you guys who've been standing here all this time?
Oh, no, it's been so cold.
All right, there you go. And now let's head down to Washington, D.C., where it's nice and chilly as well, and say hello to Mr. Willard Scott. Like the Applejack cap. Very nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My Irish cap, and I want you to know that you are the lead star as far as this show is concerned, so you will receive an Emmy, I promise, and an Oscar, and an Irving. Hey, listen, this is Black History Month. Everybody knows that, I hope. When you come to Washington, the Frederick Douglass House, it is a must-see. Spectacular. Check it out. Happy birthday from Smuckers. How sweet it is. Our birthday buddies. All of these are Academy Award winners. Louise Morash of Portola Valley in California. Loves playing bridge, and at 4:45, a little Jackie D and some water on ice. John Collins, Brewster, New York. Born in Ireland, a hard worker. Used to love to go to Yankee Stadium, see Babe Ruth, and said the national anthem always made him cry. Anna Campworth, Carlisle, Illinois. Sewing is her favorite project. and she makes teddy bears for ambulance folks that pick up sick children. Virgil Dardy, Spencer, West Virginia, Master Mason, shook hands with President Harding and has lived through 5 wars. Louis and Jewel Shones of Elk City, Oklahoma, 75 years married. He is 98, she is 96. Everybody loves him. Lenny Christensen, Creswell, North Carolina, worked for the federal government for years, a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, and a beautiful lady. Happy birthday. That's it. Now back to Katie in little old New York.
Okay, Willard, thank you very much. They gave me a new job, and I'm going to try to make sure everybody out in the crowd gets on television today. Hi, oops, working on my focus. Anyway, up next, the Oscar nominees for the 75th Academy Awards. But first, this is Today on NBC. Hi, Barry.
Need more than chocolates for Valentine's Day? Ask her to be your Valentine for keeps with a Vons Diamond. You'll find a Vons Diamond noticeably more brilliant, but size for size costs no more than pretend bargain diamonds sold elsewhere.
Keeping pace with change in today's economy is a full-time job in itself. How can you manage the day-to-day demands of your business and still have time to focus on what you do best? And where do you find the quality people and resources you need? Here at Spherion Office Professionals, we specialize in all areas of office and clerical support. Spherion's thorough application process ensures we have the most qualified candidates available for all of your needs, whether they are short-term, temp to hire, or direct hire. Call Spherion Office Professionals to explore the possibilities, and we'll take care of the rest.
Is your bathtub and tile worn, chipped, discolored, and difficult to keep clean, but you don't want the mess or expense of replacement? Hi, I'm Gary Sullivan, here to tell you about Bath Fitter. In one day, Bath Fitter can transform your old bathtub or shower into a modern acrylic masterpiece. Bath Fitter offers an exclusive one-piece wall system and a wide variety of styles and accessories.
Look for offers in your coupon magazines or call now for a free in-home estimate. 229-2284, 229-2284.
During Dodge Power Days, get the best values in America. Take our best products like Dodge Ram Heavy Duty, the 250 horsepower Intrepid SXT, the best-selling minivan ever, and the V8-powered Durango. Plus our best warranty, Dodge's fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. Plus our best deals, like up to a $4,500 cash allowance, or 0% financing on most models. Add it all up, and it equals the best values in America. See your Dodge dealer or visit Dodge.com.
Need more than chocolates for Valentine's Day? Ask her to be your Valentine for keeps with a Vons Diamond. You'll find a Vons Diamond noticeably more brilliant, but size for size costs no more than pretend bargain diamonds sold elsewhere.
And now the moment you've all been waiting for. The Oscar nominations are about to be announced at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in Beverly Hills, California. This year, by the way, marks the 75th anniversary of the Academy Awards. Oscar winner Marissa Tomei and Academy President Frank Pearson will be doing the honors this morning. But before they do, it's time to put our own Dave Karger of Entertainment Weekly on the spot and get some predictions. What do you think is going to happen this morning, Mr. Karger?
It's going to be all about Chicago.
Really?
It really is. That's going to probably have the most nominations, certainly a Best Picture nomination. As many as 5 as the cast members could get nominated, certainly at least 2.
Talking about Richard Gere, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Renee Zellweger.
Queen Latifah, John C. Reilly possibly could be swept along in the whole thing. I think The Hours will also pick up a lot of nominations. Gangs of New York, especially in the technical categories. Possibly Lord of the Rings and The Pianist. Those are my 5 predictions.
It's sort of been all over the place, hasn't it, Dave, in terms of different awards? You know, I looked at some list. I can't remember where it was, but like New York Film Critics, and everybody seems to have a different choice when it comes to Best Picture. So it's really, I guess the nominations will be pretty obvious, but I guess the winner is not so obvious.
The Critics Awards have definitely been spread out. You had Far From Heaven and About Schmidt winning the 2 main Critics Awards, New York and Los Angeles. But I really do think the consensus is, no matter what happens today, Chicago's going to probably win Best Picture. No movie seems to really have the momentum to beat it as of now.
How's Jack going to do in About Schmidt?
He definitely will get a nomination.
Matt and Jack are like this.
I love the movie,
I
though.
think you usually call him Jackie, don't you?
Jackie boy. Let's go out to California. Here's Dave Pearson and Marissa Tomei.
Good morning.
I'm Frank Pearson, President of the Academy. And before we reveal the nominees for the 75th Annual Academy Awards, I'd like to introduce my co-announcer this morning. Please welcome the Oscar-winning actress, Marisa Tomei.
Thank you, Frank. Good morning, everyone.
The 2002 nominees for Best Performance by an Actress in a Supporting Role are Kathy Bates in About Schmidt, Julianne Moore in The Hours, Queen Latifah in Chicago, Meryl Streep in Adaptation, and Catherine Zeta-Jones in Chicago. Marisa?
Thank you. For Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role, the nominees are Chris Cooper in Adaptation, Ed Harris in The Hours, Paul Newman in The Road to Perdition, John C. Reilly in Chicago, and Christopher Walken in Catch Me If You Can.
For Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role, the nominees are Salma Hayek in Frida, Nicole Kidman in The Hours, Diane Lane in Unfaithful, Julianne Moore in Far From Heaven, and Renee Zellweger in Chicago.
The nominees for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role are Adrian Brody in The Pianist, Nicolas Cage in Adaptation, Michael Caine in The Quiet American, Daniel Day-Lewis in Gangs of New York, and Jack Nicholson in About Schmidt.
In the category of Best Achievement in Directing, Rob Marshall for Chicago, Martin Scorsese for Gangs of New York, Stephen Daldry for The Hours, Roman Polanski for The Pianist, and Pedro Almodovar in Talk to Her.
For Best Original Screenplay, the nominees are Far From Heaven, Todd Haynes, Gangs of New York, Jay Cox, Steve Zalian, and Kenneth Lonergan, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Nia Vardalos, Talk to Her, Pedro Almodovar, and Y Tu Mama Tambien, Carlos Cuarón and Alfonso Cuarón.
For adapted screenplay, we have About a Boy, Peter Hedges, Chris Weitz, and Paul Weitz. Adaptation, Charlie Kaufman and Donald Kaufman. Chicago, Bill Condon, and The Hours, David Hare, and The Pianist, Ronald Harwood.
For Best Foreign Language Film, we have The Crime of Father Amaro, Mexico, Hero, People's Republic of China, The Man Without a Past, Finland, Nowhere in Africa, Germany, and Zus and Zo, the Netherlands.
For Best Animated Feature Film, the nominees are Ice Age, Chris Wedge, Lilo and Stitch, Chris Sanders, Spirit, The Stallion of the Cimarron, Jeffrey Katzenberg, Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki, and Treasure Planet, Ron Clements.
And finally, I'm pleased to announce that the films selected as the Best Picture nominees for 2002 are Chicago, Martin Richards, producer, Gangs of New York, Alberto Grimaldi and Harvey Weinstein, producers, The Hours, Scott Rudin and Robert Fox, producers, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Barry M. Osborne, Fran Walsh, and Peter Jackson, producers, and The Pianist, Roman Polanski, Robert Ben Moussa, and Alon Sard, producers.
We'll open the envelopes on Sunday, March 23rd. And for those of you on the East Coast, here's a presidential promise. You'll know the Best Picture winner before the clock strikes 12. We'll see you then. Thank you.
We better, for crying out loud. So what are the big surprises, Dave? A couple of major snubs in your view, right?
3 big snubs. Richard Gere for Best Actor for Chicago.
Because he won the Golden Globe.
He won the Golden Globe. A lot of people think that he should have done a supporting actor campaign because his role in Chicago is kind of in that middle ground. Maybe that cost him a tough category. A big snub for me and a disappointing one is Dennis Quaid not to get a nomination for supporting actor for Far From Heaven because it's an amazing performance. John C. Reilly, as I mention, got it instead as part of a sweep for Chicago. 5 of the actors from Chicago did make it in there. And also, Meryl Streep did not get a nomination for The Hours. She got a nomination for supporting actress for adaptation. So Julianne Moore was the actress who got 2 nominations this year. She's the 9th person in history ever to have 2 acting nominations in the same year. So that was kind of the big achievement for her.
And Jack Nicholson did get nominated for his role in About Schmidt, but the movie itself did not get nominated.
Neither did it get screenplay, which is also surprising because it won the Golden Globe for screenplay, and I'm very surprised that the screenplay was not recognized too. And also a surprise is Pedro Almodovar for Best Director, and oftentimes the 5 Best Picture and Best Director nominees don't always line up. There's one kind of wild
Lord of the
card.
Rings, for example, Two Towers, the director wasn't nominated for that, right?
Yes, so maybe Peter Jackson will get it next year for the 3rd Lord of the Rings movie instead, but Pedro Almodovar snuck in there instead.
So based on the things you've seen in terms of the acting nominations, if I go to the Best Picture, would you say the early favorite for Best Picture is Chicago?
Absolutely, and it has been for the past month. I mean,
how's it doing at the box office?
Very well. It just made $10 million this weekend.
Because it had a limited release initially, right?
Yeah, and it opened wide this past weekend. It's made over $60 million so far. I say it's well on its way to 100, 150. This could be the first musical to win since Oliver. It's been that long.
Zus and Zoe, Best Foreign Film. Was that a surprise to you?
Listen, Christopher Walken, who was not recognized by the Golden Globes, and a lot of people thought that was a huge snub for his supporting role in Catch Me If You Can, gets a nomination for the Academy Award.
Yes, he won the National Society of Film Critics Award for Best Supporting Actor as well, so that kind of boosted his...
Did you see that? Is your favorite here? Catch Me If You Can?
I did. I love Catch Me If You Can.
I thought Christopher Walken was fantastic.
I thought he was great in it, too.
I don't think Christopher Walken will win. I really think that it's going to be Chris Cooper's award. He's really swept a lot of the critics' awards, and he won the Golden Globes.
What about my... Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you, Dave, about My Big Fat Greek Wedding. You know, it was so much in the buzz, but has it sort of lost steam?
You know what? I think that the best that really, realistically could have hoped for today was a Best Original Screenplay nomination for Nia Vardalos. I think to expect a Best Actress or a Best Picture nomination for that movie, despite the fact that it did that well, it's a $5 million movie, and I think even the filmmakers would say it's not one of the 5 best pictures of the year. But she did get a Best Screenplay nomination, and that's her ticket to the Oscars.
All right. Dave Karger, thanks. Stick around. We may need some more insight from you in just a few minutes.
I really want to get into Zus and Zoe, too.
How about Ice Age?
Up next, we'll get some reaction from some of the lucky nominees. But first, on a Tuesday morning, this is Today on NBC.
I'm a star, and the audience loves me, and I love them.
Hello, everyone. Bob Ziegler on the ABN, Ohio's voice for agriculture. The Ohio hog market, 50 cents higher. Live hogs, 32 to a top of 33. Carcass quotes, 41.75 to 50.26. The weighted average at 47.49. Ohio's cattle market steady. Choice steers topping at 79.50. The heifers at 78.50. In the futures, February live cattle, 81.02 up 55. March feeder cattle, 76.80 up 92 points. February lean hogs, 49.35 up 90, and February pork bellies, 85.42 up 135. On the Chicago Board of Trade, a plus day. March corn, 241.5 up 1 3/4. December new crop, 246 1/4 up a penny. Wheat for March, 334 3/4 up 3 3/4. July new crop, 327.5 up a nickel. Soybeans for March, 564 3/4 up 9. November at 529 up 8. Bob Ziegler for WLIO TV.
You could join one of those expensive weight loss programs where you have to learn to eat all new foods, but why would you want to do that? Hi, this is Donna Kretsch, and I'm honored to run the Thin and Healthy organization. I got involved in health and weight loss over 20 years ago when I was 5 sizes bigger than I am today. In 1986, I began owning weight loss centers. Since then, I've been privileged to be a part of over 2 million pounds being lost. Wow. But I am most proud of what Thin and Healthy doesn't do. Thin and Healthy doesn't exist just to help you lose weight, but to teach you a lifestyle so you'll never have to lose that weight again. You'll keep your weight off because we'll show you how to increase your metabolism. I'm thrilled that members enjoy their favorite foods while losing. I'm passionate about increasing metabolisms, and I'm determined to continue to keep our costs the most affordable of all programs. Come into our centers as one of my guests. We'll help you to lose your first 10 pounds free. Others try to copy, but the fact is, there is only one way to really live thin and healthy.
Just getting used to the phrase Oscar nominated. One of the people who was just nominated for an Academy Award in the Best Actress category is Diane Lane, recognized for her work as Connie in the movie Unfaithful. And Diane Lane joins us on the phone now from Los Angeles. Diane, good morning. Long time no talk to.
Oh, good morning.
Hey, how do you feel?
Well, what a wonderful way to be awakened, because I'm waking up on the phone with you, and they keep telling me I'm not dreaming. So I have to take your word for it. I'm pinched.
It's an incredible thing. You have been, and I think most people know this to some extent, you've been acting since you were 6 years old, which is a long time.
I hear you talk like that. I'm getting all weird.
I know, but how many times over the course of these past whatever number of years have you had a chance to dream about a moment like this?
Oh, I don't want to admit that right now. Enough to nod my head and not be able to deny that it's true. And I'm just so glad that I'm here with my family. I'm here with Eleanor and Josh, and I feel like my father's here with me in spirit, and that's...
Oh, that's so nice. Diane, I know when you've talked about...
That's what it's all about.
When you talked about the... Hi, Diane, it's Katie. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much, Katie. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Listen, I know when you did this movie, I read about it, that you sort of went for broke, and some of the scenes you sort of really kind of took over the top, and you said when you actually saw it on film, you knew that it had really worked, and you were so happy with the finished product.
Well, I never thought it would reach back and reward me as much as I had put myself out there for my director, and I really can't tell you, this is Adrian Lyne's triumph today, and I am his vessel, and I have a hard time with compliments, Katie, and this is the biggest one I may ever get.
Hey, Diane, a couple of real quick points. First of all, Richard Gere was not nominated for his role in Chicago. You starred opposite him in Unfaithful. Were you disappointed in that?
You know what? I love Richard. Richard's with me in spirit so completely right now. I could not have a more proud brother, you know? And I don't have a brother, but I have Richard, and I know that he's having this vicarious thrill on my behalf the way that only a family member could.
Yeah, and you mentioned your dad, and he's there in spirit with you, too. I think people should know that he passed away shortly after the screening. The final cut of Unfaithful was made. He did get a chance to see the movie, but didn't get a chance to know you were nominated for a Golden Globe or now an Academy Award. That has to be a little bittersweet.
It is so paradoxically bizarre to me that my father said to me, you know, that he had missed the rewards experientially as my parent, you know, because he was there for me as a child. And then when I grew up, I went forward and had all this success. And he, you know, as a parent, like a coach, like a coach for a sports team, you know,
right.
The team went on to greatness, and he wished he'd been coached during that time.
Well.
And now, oh my God, it's such a strange time for him. But I feel like he's up there and making it happen, so I really ought to give him the credit for the whole thing.
Well,
he's made the odds completely unfair.
Well, we want to congratulate you again, Diane Lane, on the phone in California. We look forward to seeing you at the Academy Awards.
Bye, Diane.
What will I wear? What should I wear?
We'll figure that out. Don't look to us for some advice. Meanwhile, Salma Hayek also got the nod for her performance in Frida. Salma Hayek, good morning. Congratulations to you, Salma.
Hi, Katie.
You must be absolutely thrilled. I know this movie was such a labor of love for you, and you worked so hard to make it a reality. How are you feeling about the nomination this morning?
Oh, I'm very, very, very excited. I'm in Paris doing promotion for Frida, and at lunchtime we went to see the nominations, and it was, I'm still shaken. It was, I mean, very, very exciting, and I was so nervous and so excited that I heard Y Tu Mamá También and talked to her, and I thought they were nominated for Best Film, so I started like screaming and crying because that's all my friends, you know, and then I heard it was for Best Script, but I was just so out of it that I thought all the Mexicans won this year. A nomination. The Spanish people, we're just like getting everything.
So we're almost out of time, but I just wanted to ask you. I love the film, but are you hoping that it will even find an even bigger audience as a result of your nomination?
Yes, I do. I love the film too. I'm very proud of it, and I hope that people, because of all the attention that it's getting, run to the theaters and see it, because it's definitely worth it.
All right. Well, Salma Hayek
Kramer did an amazing, amazing job with it.
I think everybody in it was terrific. And Salma, thanks so much for getting in your seat and giving us your reaction to this very exciting news.
Congratulations.
It is. Thank you very much.
And we'll see them all, of course, at the Academy Awards. We'll be back. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Fortunately, I'm physiologically incapable of fidelity.
Oh, really?
Yes, a doctor acquaintance of mine confirmed this.
There's a place close to home where dreams begin, where doctors come to help patients get better, where families come for a lifetime of health, where early detection means faster and more successful treatment, where hope lives thanks to some of the area's finest physicians, where care reaches beyond our four walls. And people get well sooner with better outpatient care. Where people care more because we live and work here too. Where quality care is close to home.
You can sink a lot of money into an automobile. That's why regular maintenance is so important. If you don't make wise decisions, your investment just won't be worth much over time. Hi, I'm Pastor Peter Dosek. You know, life's not much different. If you want to keep moving down the road, you have to take care of a few things along the way. Why not begin this weekend at Only Believe Ministries Christian Center?
Custom Staffing is the leading supplier of skilled and unskilled labor throughout Northwest Ohio. We're also the region's top provider for nurses and nurse aides to hospitals, nursing homes, and other medical facilities. Custom Staffing is also recognized as a leading supplier of office professionals. We have considerable experience in recruiting top-notch office personnel for any type of business. The time-consuming task of finding the right employee, whether temporary or long-term, can be simplified by calling Custom Staffing in Lima, Findlay, or Bellefontaine.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Citizens National Bank. Ask about the new Primetime Home Equity line of credit with rates below prime. Citizens National Bank, what your bank should be.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Carpenter. Thanks for joining us. The military already uses it, and some golf carts have it too, but now the automotive world is getting into it. In General Motors' case, it's called OnStar Vehicle Theft Recovery, a global positioning system that helped them find 2 stolen Cadillacs from the Lima Auto Mall over the weekend. One of the vehicles, a Cadillac DeVille, ended up in flames next to a house on North Union Street in Lima following a 9-mile chase. The second vehicle, driven by an unidentified 17-year-old, was a new Escalade. It has a few dings, but it will be repaired and ready for sale. It was ditched after an 8-mile chase on Tom Fett Road near Lafayette. Lima Auto Mall General Manager Roger McLean says the car thieves didn't have a chance.
It's like shooting fish in a barrel, and they're putting on all General Motors cars before it's over with. Every automobile will have GPS, and the insurance companies will like it. OnStar makes it pretty impossible to keep it. You get to borrow it for a while, but once they turn the GPS on, they can locate that vehicle sitting in a barn or driving down the road or whatever. The sheriff's department told me it was amazing because they told them every turn they made, they didn't have to drive that fast other than try to catch him.
The adult taken into custody after fleeing the burning DeVille was 33-year-old Dennis Reed of Lima. He's charged with driving under suspension and reckless operation with more charges pending. It's believed the cars were taken on Friday night, stored, and then moved on Sunday, possibly headed for Toledo. The Escalade has a sticker price of nearly $55,000. The DeVille sells for almost $51,000. Well, the judges have been announced for this year's Jefferson Awards. The Jefferson Award recognizes and honors outstanding volunteers. The 8 individuals who will have to judge this year's nominees are Nancy Downhour, Jed Metzger, Art Versnick, Harold Rowe, Alberta Lee, Dorothy Reynolds, Jim Shine, and Eve Jones. Locally, 8 winners will be chosen. The winners will be honored at a banquet on March 31st. Nomination papers are available at the Lima News, the United Way, WLIO, or at www.wlio.com. Let's take a look at your weather forecast now. It's cold outside, about 11 degrees. We're expecting mostly cloudy skies and another inch of snow today with a high of just 24 degrees. Then for tonight, you can expect to see the mostly cloudy skies stick around and overnight temperatures dropping all the way down to 10. We'll see another 1 to 3 inches of snow likely. And tomorrow, look for partly cloudy skies and again, very cold temperatures with a high topping out at around 20.
NBC Tonight. Hey! They're back, and they're wilder than ever.
I'll be willing to get in your dress, your pants, and anything else.
The most outrageous game show moments, too. Then, you're invited to the event of the season.
You're not supposed to be in here!
Dinner with the Cranes.
Don't open that door!
An all-new Frasier that'll bring down the house.
Run for your life!
Then, critics are raving about the new hit AUSA starring Scott Foley.
You're embarrassing us in front of the drug dealer.
All-new comedy, NBC Tonight.
Chrysler announces the best values in America. Now get great products like our best-selling minivans, Sebring Convertible and 300M. Great protection with our fully transferable 770 powertrain limited warranty. And great deals like up to $3,500 cash allowance or 0% financing. Great products, great warranty, great deals. Add it all up and you'll get the best values in America. Hurry to your Chrysler dealer or visit Chrysler.com. Now, current Gold Key lessees can end their lease up to 3 months early when they get any new Chrysler.
The ABC Warehouse Washington's birthday sale. Why go shopping when you can go chopping?
Get this state-of-the-art 46-inch big screen TV, only $774 or less.
This is WLIO Lima.
Hold on, hon, we're gonna bunny hug. I bought some aspirin down at United Drug in case you shake up hard and want a brand new start to do that.
With the right song and dance, you can get away with murder, and that's probably why the musical Chicago is making a killing at the award shows this year. Already the winner of 3 Golden Globes, the musical was awarded 13 Academy Award nominations this morning, including Best Picture, and some of the movie's very excited cast got nominated as well.
Loving them, and I love them for loving me.
We're going to have a report on all the Academy Award nominations from Lester Holt over at the news desk in just a couple of minutes. Meanwhile, inside Studio 1A on a Tuesday morning, I'm Matt Lauer along with Katie Kirk and Al Roker. Nice to see you all. It's an exciting morning for Hollywood.
It certainly is. Anyway, we're going to switch gears because coming up in this half hour, we're going to be very superficial. First, we're going to get things cooking with Today style editor Judy Gordon, who's convinced the models to show us the latest in Valentine's Day lingerie. Bad news, Nico has moved to South Africa.
Oh.
Then later, are you wearing the best lipstick money can buy? InStyle magazine reveals this year's best beauty buys.
I was wondering that very question. One family who's always got something cooking will be here. New York City's famous Scotto family will be along to show us how to stir up a meal guaranteed to spice up your romance. Anthony Scotto, Dr. Love.
It's a disturbing thought. Before we get to that, let's swing over to the news desk. Lester Holt is filling in once again for Ann this morning. Hi, Lester.
Matt, Katie, and Al, hi. And as Matt mentioned, the Oscar race is off and running, and Chicago leads the way with 13 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Director, 2 for Best Supporting Actress, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Queen Latifah, and Best Actress for Renee Zellweger. Nominated for Best Picture this morning in Beverly Hills, along with Chicago, Gangs of New York, which ended up with 10 nominations, The Hours, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Pianist. The awards will be handed out on March 23rd. NATO ministers are trying again today to mend a split between some European members and the U.S. over possible war with Iraq. France, Germany, and Belgium are blocking efforts to plan military assistance for fellow NATO member Turkey in case of war. President Bush is urging those countries to rethink their positions. NASA says a 2-foot-long piece of wreckage from the Space Shuttle Columbia is a piece of the left wing. Some evidence suggests the shuttle's troubles began in the left wing. Officials say they have also recovered electronic equipment that could shed light on the spacecraft's last seconds. They've begun moving some of the thousands of pieces of debris from a hangar in Louisiana to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Former White House Press Secretary Ron Ziegler died Monday of a heart attack. As President Richard Nixon's press secretary, Ziegler called the 1972 Watergate break-in a, quote, third-rate burglary. Ziegler was 63 years old. And testimony could end as early as today in the case against Clara Harris, accused of killing her husband with her Mercedes. A rebuttal witness Monday told jurors Harris ran over her husband at least 2 times, not the one time the defense claims. It's now 3 minutes past the hour. Let's go back to Katie and Matt.
All right, Lester, thank you very much. And Mr. Roker, of course.
With a check of the weather.
That's right. It's chilly here in the Northeast. Going to stay that way for the next couple of days. But out west, it has been dry. Only 6% of the rain in Riverside, 0%, I should say, 4% in San Diego. Well, they're starting to get some rain now, and it's going to keep raining right through tomorrow. Take a look at how much. Some areas are going to pick up as much as 2 inches of rain in Southern California by tomorrow. And so there's the possibility of some flash flooding through tomorrow morning. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning, everyone. We have a very chilly morning out there, and we're expecting some more snow showers for today. We could see up to 1 inch of accumulation throughout the daytime hours, and we're expecting a high of 24. Then for tonight, continued snow showers, an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation. Our overnight low, 10 degrees. And now taking a look into our extended forecast, partly cloudy skies for tomorrow, a high around 20 degrees. Mostly cloudy for Thursday, a high of 25.
That's your latest weather. Now here's Katie.
Today's Style is brought to you by Sears. Only Sears has the brands you want at the prices you need. Sears, where else?
And this morning on Today's Style, sexy lingerie for your special Valentine. Today's Style editor Judy Gordon, founder of thetrendreport.com, is here with some dazzling and sizzling looks for guys and girls this Valentine's Day. Judy, good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Katie.
So tell us about, well, first of all, do many people give lingerie for Valentine's Day gifts?
Yeah, a lot of men give it, and of course a lot of women buy it, which is what we're going to show you today, but it's very popular.
And women are buying it for their sweethearts too, like boxer shorts and things like that, but it's really mostly female-centric, if you will.
Yes, exactly. I mean, of course, men get into the amusing prints and things, and women give it to them, but it's more about the sexy, romantic looks.
All right, well, tell me, before we check out the models.
Okay.
Hello over there. Let's talk about what you brought on the table.
You know, pink is a major trend, and especially pink with red. We saw that last year, and now it's really taken off. And this is a push-up bra, which gives you a little bit of an oomph. And then tap pants, which are always popular. And this is from a really hot lingerie company called Agent Provocateur. Which means, provokes with intent is what it means. And then, Katie, this is lace is back, but now the new lace is stretchy. And so it's more comfortable, and it doesn't, rise. It stays in place. And these are really cool. These are invisible clear straps that are a real big trend in Europe, and they're getting more popular here.
I've seen them here as well.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit more popular, and they're great because you can't really see them.
Right.
And
so if you're wearing something that has lace up top, or that you don't want to have like bra straps.
Exactly. And this is from BellaBoomBoom.com, along with a hipster. I know. Don't you love the name? It means beautiful.
BellaBoomBoom.com.
Bella Boom Boom. It means beautiful bottom.
Oh, hello.
In Portuguese. All right. So corset-inspired looks are big. This is a playful little thong. This is from Ariane.
It is very playful, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Here's the top, and red meshes in, and actually any kind of sheer fabric.
It's very naughty looking.
Yes, it is.
Now, just out of curiosity, what up with this?
For the guys, this is from Thomas Pink, and you can have your favorite expression embroidered in the inside of the collar. They'll do that for you.
Oh,
and
that's cute.
It's a great gift because girls can wear it too immediately.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I would like this better than all these little numbers.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, all right,
and a little novelty item from Zittimer.com. If somebody doesn't behave himself, love bites.
Isn't this a fly swatter?
Yeah.
Or whatever. You can swat whatever you want with this.
We won't go down that road.
Okay, let's see our models and what they're wearing.
All right, this is Richard, and he's in the playful boxer shorts that we mentioned with the hot kisses
music.
all
We got
over
Donna
them.
Summers.
Yeah, and it's black silk shorts, and these are from Zittimer.com. And if he wants to cover up, he's got a plush red robe from Paul Stewart. So that's kind of fun, don't you think?
Do you exercise?
And it's his birthday today, too.
Happy birthday! Nice to see you, Richard. Okay.
Right. Now, next is Lachelle, and she's in a fresh new combination of white with red, Katie, and it's nice looking. It's a little softer than red and black. And this is from Victoria's Secret, well priced at $24.50 for the nightie, which also doubles up as a slip, matching red robe, and then we kept the look feminine with red ballet slippers from Amy Jo Gladstone.
Are there little flowers on there?
On where?
Oh, don't I never
Oh, the flower petals. Can you see that?
Yeah, but that's okay. I don't think people at home can. I'm just very observant.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Lachelle. Looking good.
All right. And this is Richard's brother, Steve.
Oh, my God.
I know, good looks running the family.
Do you have any more brothers? Okay, sorry.
And this is a take. These are novelty pants that are a take on the Sweetheart candies with the sayings, hot stuff, I'm yours, be mine. And they're from Change Daily. Could you tell? By Joe Boxer.
Change Daily?
Yeah, that's the name. Yeah, I know. And these glow in the dark, these
They
hearts.
do?
Yeah, so you can always find your man, so to speak.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Okay. And last but not least is Janelle.
Hi, Janelle. Everybody's going,
Yeah.
hi, Janelle.
This is ultra sexy, wouldn't you say? Anyway, the trends here are the French cups and also the ribbon insets that you see in red. That's a trend. And the mesh again. And then we have a sheer robe with ruffles from Agent Provocateur, and the nightie is from Hannah. And then if you notice her slippers, we pick up the mesh with metallics. And metallics are big for spring also, Katie, and fall. And these are from Olivia Rose Tall.
Well, you all look great. Come on out so you can take a bow, and thank you so much for bearing your souls and a lot of other things this morning. Okay. Judy, those are, I mean, they're great looking, and as you point out, very reasonable, too.
Yeah.
You don't have to break the bank to give your Valentine's.
And there's a lot of
something nice.
variety, too. The pink is pretty and a little softer as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, nice to see. Happy Valentine's Day. You guys can stay put for a few minutes. And you can find more information on Valentine's Day lingerie on our website at today.msnbc.com. I'm not sure about this music. Up next, InStyle's Best Beauty Buys. That's right after this.
Sure, all these OTC and prescription allergy medicines are approved for pollen, but some are not approved for pet dander and dust. Others are not approved for smoke. Only Flonase is approved to relieve the nasal symptoms from all these triggers. For best results, use daily. Side effects are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, and sore throat. Ask your doctor about Flonase. For all these triggers, all it takes is Flonase.
Make Valentine's Day last forever with this half-carat princess cut heart pendant for only $1.99. Exclusively at Zales, the diamond store.
Sure you love them, in spite of it all. Remind them how much with new Pastoroni Homestyle Deluxe. Comes with its own tasty breadcrumb topping. New from Pastoroni.
Don't let cramps cramp your style. Get new Playtex Heat Therapy. Warm, soothing, pain-relieving heat that's discreet. It's a great new way to deal with menstrual cramps. Ultra-thin Playtex Heat Therapy patches put up to 12 hours of non-stop comforting heat right where you need it to relax the muscles that cause cramps. For all-day relief, invisibly. New Playtex Heat Therapy. Pain-relieving heat that's discreet.
What if the new Kia Sorento was in a race against the other SUVs? Who would win? The little ones would be left in the dust. Some just too honking huge. Others would be afraid of getting dirty. And the rest, they'd be distracted by the wads of cash we saved. The midsize Sorento with a 10-year warranty won this unbiased race. After all, it is our commercial. Right now, get 0% financing on the new Kia Sorento.
Prepare yourself for a lush, lathery, skin-quenching shower. The line of Dove All-Day Moisturizing Body Washes.
Soulmates. Buddies. Your better half. You just aren't you without them. Like coffee's not coffee without Coffee Mate. So smooth, so velvety, so much more than just coffee. Coffee made from Nestle. Coffee's perfect made.
Mom, look!
Oh, a firefly.
It's Tinkerbell.
Well, we should let her go, don't you think?
But I want to keep her.
If you let her go, maybe we could see her at her house.
There's a place where magic lives. To get there, call 1-407-WDisney.
NBC Tonight, they're back and wilder than ever.
I'll be willing to get in your dress, your pants, and everything.
Most outrageous game show moments, too. NBC Tonight, 8/7 Central.
Today's In Style is brought to you by Sears. Only Sears has the brands you want at the prices you need. Sears, where else?
And this morning on In Style Today, the very best beauty buys. The Academy Award nominations were announced earlier this morning, but In Style magazine has already tallied the votes in the Oscars of Beauty. And Charlotte Krupp is here with all the winners. Hey, Charlotte, good morning. Nice to see you.
Hi, Katie. For people in the beauty world, these best beauty buys at In Style are right up there with the Oscars, and we're going to show you the first look today.
Now, this is the 8th year that you all have done this,
Yeah.
right? How is it different this year? How does voting work for people who might not be familiar with past awards?
Well, I'll tell you how the voting works. We interview 130 beauty professionals, and just like in the Oscars, they vote in their category of expertise, and the best performance by a product wins.
Okay.
And it could even win by one vote.
All right, and do they have, are they beholden to any particular lines, in other words, or it's just what they like to use on their clients and what they think works best, but they're not affiliated with any of the
No,
products?
in fact,
because
they
so many
can't-
makeup artists come up with their own products
They
now.
can't be affiliated.
Okay, I
with
just want to
any
make sure it's on the up and up.
It's totally legit.
All right, so you've got both high-end winners and low-end winners, because a lot of people still buy their cosmetics at a drugstore because they don't want to spend $300 for moisturizer.
Right, and In Style believes that you can find really good products for a low price. That's why we have the high and the low today in the hottest categories.
All right, I'm very excited because I get to announce the winner of the Oscar for the Best Foundation.
And
May I have the envelope, please?
Here is the envelope, Katie.
So exciting.
And the winner for the Best Foundation is...
So exciting.
Who?
Laura Mercier!
No, Laura has
I was doing a
many
Sharon
times
Stone,
before.
Richard Gere thing.
I think you pulled it off.
Okay, thank you. All right, Laura Mercier.
Mercier's oil-free and moisturizer. It's a multi-winner. It won by a landslide this year. Everybody uses it. And
I use this moisturizer, and I like it very much.
It's good. It stays on. You put it on in the morning. It's on at night.
So what is the low-end version?
In the low-end version, it's L'Oreal's Translucide. This has SPF of 18, and it has vitamin C in it, and it's oil-free, and for $13. What else would you want?
By the way, we have cute little chocolate Oscars. Those are cute.
Aren't these adorable?
Okay, let's
and they're
move on
the red carpet. Isn't this cute or
Very
what?
cute. All right, let's move on to other categories. You want me to open this? I won't
Yes,
make a
and
big
the
deal of
winner
it.
for the best concealer is Clé de Peau.
Oh.
Now, Clé de Peau won...
Oh, this is just for props.
This
Sorry.
is just props.
Okay.
Clé de Peau won last year. You might remember this.
Oh,
and
I do
when
remember
we
that.
announced this last year, they sold out in New York. The comment we got most from this was just, it's the best.
Really?
Everybody is using it, and they just said it's the best. And I used this last year when we did this. I still have the same tube left.
So it really lasts, even though it's very expensive.
Even though it's $65.
Okay. Now, a tried but true. Erase?
Erase. And this is the first time Erase has ever won. Is there a woman in the world who has not bought an Erase in her life? Katie, this is the Marty Scorsese of makeup because it's been around since 1954 and it has never gotten a Best Beauty by nod
Well, you know
until
what?
now.
Now it's getting some respect. Okay,
Yes.
Congratulations, Erase. Okay, let's talk about eyeshadow.
Stila has won 7 times in a row, and they won again this year. And people love their eyeshadow because it really stays on and doesn't fade in. And makeup artists love this brand, Stila, because it has 80 shades of eyeshadow.
Okay.
And then in our lower price line, people just love Revlon. $9, 4 different eyeshadows, you know?
Okay.
It's pretty great.
All right, and now for the winner for lipstick.
Yes, and the best lipstick. Oh my God, Katie, this is an upset.
I'm shocked by this one.
This is an upset in this category. This is the first time that Yves Saint Laurent's lipstick have won.
This is so cool. You think it looks like nail polish when you see it.
They're so beautiful. My makeup artist, Efrat, uses this, and she used this on Judi Dench and Maggie Smith at the Oscars, and they never never had to touch up their lips the entire night.
Really? Oh, this is pretty.
People
I like this.
love that the colors are true to what it says, you know, here. They stay, and they're very
This one looks
sheer.
much darker, though, doesn't it?
But it's very sheer.
Pretty. Okay, tell me what the less expensive winner
Lipfinity,
is.
Max Factor's Lipfinity won again for a drugstore line. And Lipfinity is a long-lasting lipstick. We've tried it here before.
But I don't think those long-lasting lipsticks really work that
This
well,
one
do you?
does.
This one
is
does?
amazing. We tested it once. It's great.
Okay.
And this is the best-selling product in the whole Max Factor line.
All right, let's go into moisturizer. Of course,
Now,
Creme de la Mer.
Yes, dermatologists and estheticians voted in this category, and hands down, no surprise, Creme de la Mer. This is very pricey, but women, you know, just swear by this. My makeup artist used this on me this morning. J-Lo practically bathes in this stuff.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go buy it by the
Don't you
bucketful. Okay, all right, now tell me about this. This is Oil of Olay. This is the less expensive.
Trusty drugstore brand. Everybody loves it, and it comes in a UV formula and an oil-free.
I've got to get a manicure. That is so sad.
Oh my God!
Okay, all right. Okay, keep going.
Please,
okay.
when you're doing beauty
I bite my nails. It's terrible.
especially.
All right. So what is this shampoo?
Oh my God! This is another upset in the best shampoo category.
Charlotte,
this is
you
a
need
brand.
to get a life here. I'm getting so excited.
I love this stuff. I live for this.
Okay, all right.
Kerastat is a brand that is only sold in the top 1% of salons in this country. It's a French brand, and it just came here last year. But now everybody knows about it. Every celebrity is using this. J-Lo insists. It's on all her movie sets.
And it was you and J-Lo.
I know. Can you believe it?
It's like enough.
Also on How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. They use this.
Okay. And then the less expensive version is Pantene?
Pantene, and one hairdresser, River Lloyd, said that he sees this in all these celebrity showers. Pantene is considered a salon brand at a drugstore price, $4.
I'm still into
Pantene.
Suave myself.
Oh my God, gotta get you, Katie. Please.
All right, tell me about this.
This is a very exciting new product because for the first time, InStyle editors did their picks on the best new products because we wanted to add a real woman's perspective, not just the pros. Martha McCulley of InStyle, who you know, uses this Chi ceramic flat iron dryer while she's in meetings in the office. Can you believe this?
That's very professional.
Yeah, isn't it great? But at the end of the meeting, she looks like she had a blow dry. Isn't that great? And this is a kinder, safer, much more
it's not so damaging to your hair.
And the ceramic is really good because it doesn't fry. Yes.
All right. Well, Charlotte
hair.
Krupp, thank you so much for coming by and showing us all the winners of this year's Beauty Oscars.
And for
congratulations to all of you.
I know. And for all 150, you could pick up March in Style.
Okay, exactly. Get that in there.
Katie.
Thanks, Charla. Thanks. And you can find more information on InStyle's best beauty buys on our website as well at today.msnbc.com. Who's that on the cover? Is that Sheryl Crow?
Sheryl Crow.
Looking good, Sheryl. Anyway, we'll be back with more of Today right after this. All right.
Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Simply refreshing and nutritious. V8 Splash. We do more with fruit, too. Every year, your kid gets a rotten cold. But this time, it's gonna be different. Because of Children's Motrin Cold. It takes their fevers, sore throats, stuffy noses, and blows them away. The colds are coming. Are you ready? Children's Motrin Cold. For moms who don't fool around with colds.
Mama keeps our house sparkling like sunshine. Mama keeps our house fresh like the springtime.
There's no clean like a bleach clean, so Mom uses Clorox Cleanup Spray for tough stains. Even set-in stains other spray cleaners leave behind disappear before your eyes. And for a bleach clean in the bathroom, Mom uses Clorox Automatic Toilet Bowl Cleaner. With every flush, there's a rinse of bleach to kill germs. That's the magic of Clorox.
Mama's got the magic of Clorox.
Listerine Pocket Pack strips have the power to destroy germs. The power to crush germs. and the power to eliminate over 99% of germs on contact. Because when you kill the germs, you get an incredible clean mouth feeling. Cool Mint Listerine Pocket Packs. Kill the germs. Feel the clean.
We all fall in love. And we all get colds. Hopefully not on the same day. Thank goodness for Kleenex tissues. Ultra soft 3 germ blocking layers help you share feelings, not germs.
Tu ne me dis rien de tout. Tu ne fais plus rien de tout. Tu m'étends seulement les choses que j'adore.
This Valentine's Day, get the hallmark from My Heart Bear and hide a surprise inside. It's just $5.95 when you buy 3 Hallmark cards, only at your Hallmark Gold Crown store.
Only on Today, Katie Couric with Bill Clinton.
Is war inevitable?
No, but Saddam Hussein's going to have to disarm.
Tomorrow, our candid conversation continues on Today on NBC.
Coming up, a romantic Valentine's Day courtesy of the Scottos.
But first, these messages and your local news.
I can't believe I used to pay up to 25 cents a minute for my long-distance calls. But I did with MCI. I also tried Sprint at 10 cents a minute and AT&T at 7 cents.
But now that I've switched to IDT long distance, I pay just 5 cents a minute for all my state-to-state calls all day, every day. It's the best flat rate long distance plan available. I can talk to my mother in the Midwest or my best friend in Florida, and at 5 cents a minute, a 20-minute call is just $1. That saves me over $150 a year. And unlike those other companies, IDT gives me 6-second billing, so I never pay for time I don't use, and there are no hidden catches or annoying 1010 numbers to dial. So which would you rather pay, 7 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents with AT&T, Sprint, or MCI, or just 5 cents a minute with IDT? I chose IDT. It only took one easy call and my savings started immediately. I'll never switch again.
IDT long distance. No one does it for less.
Hey, you're not as clean as you think. Count on Dial antibacterial to wash away dirt and germs. Aren't you glad you used Dial?
People with sensitive teeth have something new to shout about.
This new Sensodyne tastes fresh.
Introducing Sensodyne Fresh Impact. Now, the toothpaste dentists recommend using every day to stop pain also keeps breath feeling fresh for hours. New Sensodyne Fresh Impact.
Healthy Choice Mixed Grills. We start with lean, tender chicken breast, then grill to sear in flavor. Add a generous portion of crisp, tasty vegetables and serve with a tangy barbecue dipping sauce. Healthy Choice created mixed grills to satisfy your appetite to eat right.
This is the closest water ever gets to my orange juice. Tropicana Pure Premium, made entirely from oranges. Gotta love one ingredient.
So pure, so alive, Tropicana.
This kitchen is open 24 hours a day. When my children's friends are hungry, they come and find me. I always keep the pantry ready. Coming to Walmart Supercenter, you can get great prices. Their produce section is wonderful. It's fresh, it's crisp, it's colorful. You get great quality for less money. I can find any meat that I want. Hot roast, chuck roast, spiral ham is great. I always like to have something baked fresh for the pantry. I can get everything I need at my Supercenter. We all need to watch our pennies, and Walmart does that. This is where it all happens.
Today's Professionals is brought to you by MPS Weight Loss and Wellness. Lose weight and improve your health without drugs, shakes, or gimmicks. In Lima, call 221-3MPS and Findlay 422-3MPS for a free info session.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to Today's Professionals. Joining us in the studio this morning, we have MPS, and Nancy Downhauer is here. Nancy, you brought with you some guests from the Findlay office of MPS.
Yes. Deb and Hans Hansen, they're clients at our Findlay Center, and they enrolled about 4 months ago. And we had actually met in another setting and invited them to a seminar that we did there at the library talking about MPS. And Deb, I understand you came really to be supportive of your husband.
That's correct. But the more I heard about MPS that evening, the more it struck a chord with me, because I had just seen the doctor and he had diagnosed me with high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and osteoporosis. And so I decided that this was a program for me as well as for Hans, and decided that we could do this together and be supportive of one another. And so that's why we did it. I didn't want to go on medications.
I can understand that. And what kind of results have you had?
It's just been phenomenal. We both have so much more energy. Our friends have told us that we look a whole lot better than we did.
I think you said younger, didn't you?
Right.
Nobody minds that. And, well, going down 2 dress sizes, even though weight wasn't really the issue, you said the pounds were kind of creeping up.
Right, the pounds were creeping up on me, and I had been trying to lose some weight, and I really wasn't doing it. I wasn't successful at all. But with the MPS program, just a different lifestyle. It's just choosing a different lifestyle that we have thoroughly enjoyed.
And a different lifestyle, but not a difficult lifestyle, right?
Oh, no.
You're very active in the community. I would assume you eat out. How many times a week?
Oh, at least 4 or 5.
Sure. And that's been easy to do on the program?
Very easy, very easy, yeah.
It's fun. Because, you know, we were looking at a grocery circular over the weekend, and we said, look, this is on sale, but we don't use that anymore.
Don't use it.
And don't miss it.
Right.
Don't use it, don't miss it. Find out about all the things that you don't need to use and the things that you won't miss. Remember, MPS is more than just weight loss. Help your wellness. If you're in the Findlay area, call now, 422-3MPS, or in Lima, 221-3MPS.
Feel the fun with Instant Connections. Get a great deal from Time Warner Digital Cable. Start your favorite shows the instant you want with HBO On Demand. Rewind, pause, and fast forward. Call 1-866-44-CABLE now for a special offer and save up to $280. Hurry, this offer is for a limited time only. Instant happiness. Time Warner Cable. Now anything's possible.
WLIO Lima, WLIO DT Lima.
And even if you've never seen the movie, chances are you know that that's Deborah Carr and Burt Lancaster in From Here to Eternity. To celebrate Valentine's Week, we thought we'd remind you of some of the most romantic moments in movie history. And this scene, of course, is right up there, even though it's a bit steamy for 1953. If you ever tried to reenact this scene, you know you get a lot of sand up your bathing suit.
Spoken by someone who's been there.
And we're back on this Tuesday morning, February the 11th. I'm Katie Couric, along with Matt Lauer, Al Roker, and MSNBC's Lester Holt. Earlier this morning, the Academy Award nominations were announced, and Gangs of New York got 10 nominations, including Best Picture and Best Song. It's called The Hands That Built America by U2, and later this month, U2's Bono and The Edge will be here to perform that song exclusively for us right here on Today, which is exciting.
It is exciting. Got to talk to them at the Golden Globes. They were thrilled to be a part of that movie, so we look forward to them coming here. Also coming up in this half hour, the Scotto family will cook up the perfect Valentine's dinner for a romantic rendezvous for 2. And some of the sumptuous items on the menu include, Al, a heart-shaped crab cake, Love and Kisses coffee, Katie, that's for you, and of course, oysters, Lester, those are for you.
I was going to say, those are for you, Matt.
Wow. Who needs them?
There you go.
Whoa!
Oh, do tell, Lester.
Yeah.
Go on.
Countdown to something. Countdown to love.
And keeping with that theme, we're going to show you how to give your Valentine's gift that personal touch. Designer Todd Oldham has some homemade suggestions that'll make your Valentine feel special. Although it's Valentine's Day every day at the Holt household.
And we all...
The household.
We all need a shot in the arm from time to time, but this particular shot is not to boost your spirit. It's to protect your health. If you can't remember the last time you got a... I don't know how we go from love to tetanus, but if you can't remember the last time...
Once again, spoken by someone who's been there.
If you can't remember the last time you got a tetanus shot, I can't do this anymore.
Just keep going,
all right.
Keep playing.
It's an important subject.
We're going to talk tetanus and how you should get the shot every 10 years. And it's just not... It just pales to what you guys just talked about.
Okay, thank you, Lester. Before we get to all of these things, you were going to tell us what you have coming up on MSNBC.
I was. Of course, you scooped us. I was going to tell you about William Cohen interview, but of course somebody stole that idea, didn't they?
Sorry about that.
We've actually got tonight on Countdown Iraq the granddaughter of Nikita Khrushchev, who has gotten very active in U.S.-Russian relations with a historical perspective as to where we are right now with the support for war against Iraq. So she'll be our guest tonight, Countdown Iraq, 7 o'clock Eastern.
All right, looking forward to that. Meanwhile,
what are you cooking up on?
Well, you know, the Iraqi
Todd
cuisine.
Oldham's standing over there going, I'm out of here.
so tell us about the weather.
Yes, good idea. Let's check it out, show you what's going on. For today, we've got sunshine here in the east, some flurries in New England, windy conditions in the plains, wet in the southwest. And then for tomorrow, the rain spreads further to the east into the southwest, lots of snow squalls around the central Great Lakes, sunny in the Pacific Northwest. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning, everyone. We have a very chilly morning out there, and we're expecting some more snow showers for today. We could see up to 1 inch of accumulation throughout the daytime hours, and we're expecting a high of 24. Then for tonight, continued snow showers, an additional 1 to 3 inches of snow accumulation. Our overnight low, 10 degrees. And now taking a look into our extended forecast, partly cloudy skies for tomorrow, a high around 20 degrees. Mostly cloudy for Thursday, a high of 25.
Your latest weather now, back to Matt.
Al, thank you. Up next, Todd Oldham sets his sights on Valentine's Day right after these messages.
B.B. King on blood glucose testing.
If I can do that without having to hurt myself, then I'll do it. I'll do it every time I should. But if I've got to hurt B.B. King, I don't like to hurt me for nothing. One song make your life a sing.
The One Touch Ultra requires less blood, so you can test on your arm where it's less painful.
One touch can change everything. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The One Touch Ultra.
It's LensCrafters' best $99 offer ever. Right now, get a complete pair of glasses with DuraLens, our most scratch-resistant plastic lens for only $99. The $99 DuraLens event. This is one you don't want to miss.
Hurry, offer ends February 22nd.
Plastic holds the promise of a better world, taking medicine to new heights and giving our lives greater comfort. It puts the answers in our hands and hope in our hearts. Plastics make it possible.
Aha! Caught you using OxyClean. May I propose a little switcheroo?
Clorox Oxygen Action?
Right. It removes stains like coffee and wine better than OxyClean. Ta-da!
Those stains are gone.
And so am I.
Not with my Clorox Oxygen Action.
I think my voice has a horse.
Give her Triaminic. Triaminic's the one with targeted relief. Different formulas to zero in on exactly what they have.
Mom, the horse is gone.
You're right on target with Triaminic.
A blotch. A rough spot. A few dry patches. They stand between you and a healthy, radiant skin tone. But now there's Vaseline Healthy Body Complexion, a new lotion with Vaseline moisturizers, alpha hydroxy, and multivitamins. It works while you moisturize to help make the bad spots disappear. For more radiant skin tone all over, stick with new Vaseline Healthy Body Complexion.
Can you lose weight and still live your life?
No problem. Slim Fast made it very easy.
I never felt deprived of anything, and I was losing weight.
Hey, we're talking choices.
Rich, creamy shakes, meal-on-the-go bars.
Slim Fast has snack bars. You can take it anywhere.
Now let's talk taste.
Oh my gosh, the Slim Fast shakes are so delicious.
Just like a chocolate milkshake from an ice cream store, Slim Fast worked great for me.
And it just works for me. And it felt like I was doing it the right way.
Slim Fast, it's your life. Feed it right.
Thursday, an all-new supersized Will and Grace with Demi Moore as Jack's babysitter.
I just put Jack down for his nap.
We're like 40. Can Jack kick his babysitter addiction?
What are you saying?
I believe you heard me.
What are you implying?
Well, what am I implying? You're a sissy Holly. But is he the only one?
And blow?
All-new supersized Will and Grace, NBC Thursday.
With Valentine's just a few days away, we asked designer Todd Oldham to come up with some creative, inexpensive, and distinct ways to say, I love you. Todd, good to see you again.
Good morning, Al. Thank you very much.
You know, this stuff is great because you can break the bank, you know, going nuts doing Valentine's Day stuff.
You can.
But the good news is you can do some inexpensive stuff that says, I love you from the heart, right?
Well, ultimately, it's about the gesture and the feeling that goes behind these gifts. It's not so much about what it is. But I think we've actually come up with some very nice solutions that can blend all that together.
I think they're very cute. And why blow the bank on real flowers? flowers when you can have some flowers that say just what you want?
Exactly, a little love bouquet. And I actually remember making some of these when I was a kid. And it's, we found out that over 50% of Valentines are made end up in teachers' hands. So this is a perfect teacher present. A little love bouquet only takes some little sticker dots like this, some little metal wire like a floral wire. And we actually have this template on the Today Show website if you want to just
print it out on colored paper.
And cut it. Just cut them out. Very, very simple. You want to write a little love note for us, maybe? Just a little something in the middle there. I heart Joe. Very sweet.
Our director.
Does Joe know this?
Yes, Joe's our director. He knows I love him.
Just wire right down in the center. Put your love dot right there. And assuming you don't smear the ink like I did, it looks pretty great.
Okay.
And the more the merrier.
You just make up a nice little bouquet.
Yeah, it could be what you'd like out of your love, some thoughts about them, anything.
Something you'd like to get out of your love.
There you go.
There you go. Now, making a bath parfait.
Yes, exactly.
I like this.
Well, bath soaks come in lots of different prices and lots of different ways, but I think there's a lovely way you can make your very own. First, start with the lowly Epsom salt. You know, sports guys
it's like
soak
$1.50, $1.75 a box.
Definitely some fresh rosemary, some sage, some little rose petals. We've even got these essential oils like tangerine and rosewood. Hey, will you help me make some of these?
Sure, absolutely.
Well, we'll start by filling this little jar about halfway full.
Okay.
And why don't you choose an oil there and put about 5 or 6 little sprinkles in there.
Let's see, tangerine.
Tangerine will be nice.
Lavender. Oh, I think lavender.
Yeah, that's good. I think I'll do the rosewood. Just put a couple of good shakes in there. That's plenty. Give it a little swirl. Now maybe some rosemary in yours?
Yeah.
That would be nice. So you just sort of knot it up and place it right in your jar. I'll start with a few rose petals.
Okay.
Finish the top off. Got it.
And then it'll be scented with the essential oil.
Exactly. Now you see why we're using this box.
Yeah, good idea. Can you put any more of the stuff on?
You can put it right on top, or you just give it a good shake and let it sit for about 6 hours, and it should be permeated.
And then they can use this for a bath kind of soak.
Exactly. It lasts about a week since you're using fresh ingredients, and this is a lovely way to display it. We actually filled it with rose petals, and in this little tool piece, you can take these out, tie it up, and let the rose petals soak in your bath.
Very nice.
Works out very nicely.
Now, you are a big fan of the paint by numbers deal.
I love them as an art form. They're a really unsung art form, and there's such a resurgence of interest in them these days, and it's a great way to keep the kids busy for a few hours if you need to.
Now you're talking.
We started out with these little pre-bought drawing books or sketchbooks and get them a couple of bucks. We actually found these great old paint by numbers right at a Walmart, if you can imagine. And what you do is you trim it out to the size of the cover. We've done one here, and start painting it in. You can use these little traditional paints, and this is what you get.
And you create your own beautiful
little scrapbook, photo book, and we only have 3 friends.
And again, the great thing is your kids have something to do. It keeps them busy.
Exactly.
And it'll be a heartfelt gift.
And you're not cutting out. You're not painting the extra part. You're cutting off.
Carnations get kind of a bum rap because I guess they're sort of cheap. But you like these.
I love them. They just have a bad stigma, but they're gorgeous flowers. They smell great. And here's a really good solution: a great flower bouquet for under $10. You start with this floral foam, a little heart-shaped cake pan here. You just press it in. Get the shapes right. You want to press that one in? Excellent.
Okay.
We filled up the pie pan. Fill it with water. We need actually quite a bit more water than we've got here.
Right.
Will you hand me those scissors, Al?
Sure.
Thanks. Great. And then we just clip them off, and you just start by placing them right around. And as you see, we've done them in a concentric ring here. It works really nicely.
So different colors, stripes, very nice. Another thing you say you can do is do your own CD mix and create your own CD.
Exactly.
And also you get some fabric markers.
Just little fabric markers, just like this. And anything you would write on a card, why not you write it on a pillowcase so your love note stays a little longer, maybe a little tote bag for mom. And if you don't have any time at all, you can get these little Valentine's Day kits at Target.
All right, Todd Oldham, thank you very much.
Happy
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's to you, Al. Thank you.
If you want to try out any of these ideas, check out our website at today.msnbc.com. Coming up next, why you need a booster shot for tetanus. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Need more than chocolates for Valentine's Day? Ask her to be your Valentine for keeps with a Vons Diamond. You'll find a Vons Diamond noticeably more brilliant, but size for size cost no more than pretend bargain diamonds sold elsewhere.
Ain't it rich?
Let's make it juicy.
Ain't it bold?
Let's make it juicy.
Ain't it grand?
Let's make it juicy.
Smoking, spiced up, sizzling life up. Ain't nothing juicier. Now better than ever Eckrich sausage. When it's this sizzling, bubbling, and crackling, it's gotta be new Eckrich. Can't stand bland.
No damn.
Dry don't apply.
Oh my.
Ain't it rich?
Let's make it juicy.
Smoking, spiced up, sizzling life up. Hey, hey, Eckrich, make it juicy.
Jeff Tracy for Tracy Appliances. It's no secret that there is a Tracy Appliance product in 1 out of every 3 homes in the Lima area. The reason why? The fastest delivery in town, along with the best deals, the largest selection, and our award-winning service. Right now at Tracy's, you'll find refrigerators as low as $2.99. Range is just $1.99 and laundry pairs from $4.99. Plus big rebates and special 12-month same-as-cash financing. Let our next stop put a new appliance in your home today. Tracy's, your brand source neighborhood expert.
The corner office has a washing machine, and you're the chief operating officer. And between balancing the chores and the kids, you've got to balance the books. That's where Meijer comes in. In one stop, you can save on groceries, meat and produce, to housewares, fashion, and cosmetics. Who says a mom can't have a 401k plan? Meijer.
Need more than chocolates for Valentine's Day? Ask her to be your Valentine for keeps with a Vons Diamond. You'll find a Vons Diamond noticeably more brilliant, but size for size cost no more than pretend bargain diamonds sold elsewhere.
Meal bars, snack bars. This morning on Today's Health, tetanus infections. If you're like many Americans, chances are the last time you had a tetanus shot, you were probably a child. This month, the National Foundation for Infectious Diseases is launching its Power of 10 campaign to spread awareness that a tetanus booster shot is needed every 10 years. Dr. Susan Ream is president of the foundation. Susan, good morning. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Who are we talking to? What audience is this campaign aimed at?
Well, it's really astonishing. Only 50% of adults have immunity against tetanus and diphtheria. So we're primarily targeting adults. And the amount of immunization that actually goes down with the age. So when you get into the over 70 age group, only 30% have protection.
Now, you said diphtheria. Before I did the segment, I looked at my shot records, which I just happen to keep with my passport. I'm up to date, by the way, but it said tetanus, diphtheria, and I wasn't even aware of that component. Is that...
That's
Explain
standard,
that to me.
and it's actually been that way for 50 years. Both of these things need to be boosted every 10 years, so it was convenient to put both of them together.
Talk to me about the vaccine now. Is there any risk to this vaccine?
It's a very safe vaccine, and it's very effective. As I said, it's 50 years old, so we have lots of experience with it, and it's something that is easy to get, much easier to get than to get the disease. That's a devastating problem.
Well, tell me about it. Now, I've heard of lockjaw. Is that one and the same with the infection, the tetanus infection?
That's the most common form of the infection. It's one that most of us think about when we think about tetanus. But it can happen with a very minor injury, or what appears to be a minor injury, if it's contaminated with dirt. One of the cases I saw ended up with the individual who had just kind of put a splinter into his hand in the intensive care unit for about 8 weeks. Just a terribly frightening disease, and in 20% of the cases, people actually die from it.
But often things like that will happen. I put a little antibiotic cream on it, I put a Band-Aid and forget about it. How long before you see symptoms, and what should be the tip-off that I've got a big problem going on here?
Symptoms can occur within 3 days to 3 weeks after the injury. And it's important to recognize what the risks are. It's when dirt contaminates whatever injury you have, or wood products, splinters, anything, a branch that you might come into contact with when you're gardening, or something that's contaminated with soil. So you should increase your awareness about that. But more importantly, go ahead and get the booster routinely every 10 years, and you don't have to worry about it.
Every 10 years. Now, if you sustain an injury in between at that point, will they often give you another tetanus shot?
They may. Actually, that's at the discretion of the doctor, but if it's a high-risk injury, you may well get an additional shot, even if it's been less than 10 years.
If you haven't had the shot, if you're up to date, can they retroactively, I guess, give it to you? Does it?
Actually, if you've had a high-risk injury, they will go ahead and immunize you, and in some cases, they may even give you some additional medications to prevent the disease from occurring at that time.
How do they treat, other than giving you the shot, how do they treat tetanus?
Tetanus itself, it's a combination of antibiotics, immune globulin, which gives you antibodies right away, and a variety of support measures. But it's a toxin that goes throughout the body.
Now, it's a typical childhood immunization now. An infant will get this normally.
Yes, a child will always get this vaccine prior to going to school. That's a requirement. And many people get a booster sometime around the time they begin college or in high school. But then after that, we tend to forget about it. Maybe people don't know that they should be getting a booster every 10 years. And for people over 60, they may never have received that initial 3 vaccinations that gets people started with their immunity. So we really would love to get the message out to that group of individuals that they need to check to see whether they've ever been immunized.
Important advice. I'm glad you're here to talk about it. Dr. Susan Ream, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Now here's Matt.
Today's Kitchen is brought to you by new Vaseline Healthy Body Complexion.
Lester, thanks very much. This morning on Today's Kitchen, a romantic Valentine's menu from the Scotto family. We all know them, Marion, Anthony, and Elena. Well, this morning we're going to meet another member of the family, Anthony and Elena's brother, John. Yeah. John, nice to have you here.
Thank you.
It's about time they let you out of the closet after all these years. Good to have you here. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone, almost.
Thank you, Matt.
Marion, you're going to do something fun for us today. You're going to make some heart-shaped items. Tell me about them.
Okay, today we begin with some oysters, fried oysters, and that's how we begin our meal at Fresco.
Okay, first course.
This is some all-purpose flour, egg white, and dark beer.
Why beer?
Because it gives it a wonderful flavor.
Okay.
Mix it up. I don't have time
That's
to
right.
mix
You've
it.
got
And
the
this
finished
is it.
batter right here.
Right here. Take the oyster out. Put it in the batter.
Okay, and you're going to dump it
Put
right
it
in the old
in the
deep fryer here?
later.
How long would you cook that?
I would say about 3 minutes.
Okay.
And we put it on top. No, don't worry, Matt.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'm the one standing next to the fryer here.
Come this way.
Okay.
We put it on top of a bed of baby greens and string beans, and it's wonderful with some balsamic dressing. And of course, you know, at Fresco, we always begin our meal with our heart-shaped pizza margherita.
Right, and you're famous for this pizza. It's always amazing to me just how thin you get that
It's very
crust.
thin. It's hand-rolled out. And we have 2 different types of cheeses on it. We have pecorino,
Right.
and we have bel paese, and some dollops of tomato.
One of my
and
favorite
there you go.
dishes there. Marion, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let me move on to the bad seed here. Anthony,
How are you, sir? Nice
good to see you, sir. What do you
Happy
make? I haven't
Valentine's
heard
Day.
of this.
Yeah, I know. Big night, timpano.
Timpano, what exactly is that?
It's actually, the proper pronunciation is timpano.
Timpano, okay.
Which actually means a drum.
Right.
And when you saw it on television, it was actually a round, large pasta shell.
Okay.
What I'm doing is we're starting this. If you can help me here, sir.
Yeah, sure.
I need some smoked mozzarella.
Okay.
We have our pasta already cooked. We're using a penne. We've got the cheese.
Right.
Sausage.
Peas.
Peas. Tomatoes.
What are those?
Eggplant.
Okay.
We're going to mix it with a little tomato sauce.
And this is actually something you're gonna stir together, but you're gonna bake this in a
Absolutely.
pasta
We're gonna
crust,
stir
or I mean
this all,
a pie crust.
Right. We're going to stir this all together, and I have a
what? It is a pot pie.
Version pot pie.
Mrs. Smith's been making these for years, hasn't she?
Yes. So we have this. We're going to add this right to the pasta shell.
Okay.
Sorry, we don't have that much time here left.
That's all right.
And when we're going to finish baking it, 350, 25 minutes, it's going to look like this, sir.
And you serve that warm or hot? Or
We're going to serve that hot.
Okay.
We're going to put this so it looks like the love.
That looks great.
The love.
Coat it with a little egg batter over that.
Egg batter on top. We're done.
Fantastic.
Yes.
John Scotto, ladies and gentlemen. Nice. What's the age difference between you two?
Mentally? About a year and a half.
Year and a half? Yeah. He must have just pummeled you when you were a kid.
We just grew up like a beanbag.
John, what are you going to make for us this morning?
I'm making crab cakes. Forget the diamonds, forget the lingerie. On Valentine's Day, this is the way to go.
Okay.
I have jumbo lump crab meat, celery, capers, zucchini, ketchup and mayonnaise, and we mix it together. We put it in breadcrumbs and almonds,
Okay.
form it.
Jam it into a heart-shaped mold.
Right. Clean it up a bit. Turn it over. You got your crab meat.
Okay.
There it is.
But wait a second.
With an avocado salsa.
Don't you actually, you pan-sear this first.
350 degrees for a half hour.
Okay, and then you pop it in the, oh no, but you pan-sear it and then you put it in
Yes.
350 for a half hour.
Yes.
Okay. That's fantastic. John, it's so
My
nice
hands are
to
dirty.
That's okay.
Sorry, thanks
So
very
good to
much.
finally have
Thank
you
you
here.
very much.
They
I
should have let you
appreciate
come a
being
long time ago. And now, Elena, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
You're going to make
Valentine's-
us a little dessert and coffee?
I have some love and kisses for you. Amore baci, okay? And actually, we chose...
Took about 10 years on the job, but it finally happened, Elena. Go ahead. What is amore baci?
Well, it's actually a coffee drink, and we're going to start out with some espresso.
Okay.
You could substitute it with coffee if you don't have an espresso machine. We're going to put in a nice shot of Frangelico.
Okay.
Okay, just to give you that little buzz. Cream de cocoa. And then...
Good night, Irene.
We're keeping it light. We're putting in some chocolate whipped cream. Because we all need chocolate on Valentine's Day. Everybody knows it's an aphrodisiac. And then we're going to top it off with chocolate shavings.
All right. You don't mix it
Okay.
up. You just start to let that kind of take shape.
That's it. That's it. And here
Wow.
you go. I don't know if you could have a little...
Come on in, guys.
Right.
That is
Would
an
you like
evening
to try
ender.
it?
Is it hot? Yeah. Okay.
Hi,
Try it.
everybody.
Hi.
Would you like Been in the witness protection program.
Hey, that's very good. That's delicious.
Is it? Can I just taste a little
It's
bit
really,
of it?
really good. Here, take a with a fork. You're going
It's
to
an
drink coffee.
aphrodisiac. I'm just tasting the whipped cream.
So, John, exactly why have you finally joined us after all
He's
these
come
years?
back to the nest.
He has.
The prodigal
great.
son.
Ones have a daughter that just reappeared.
It's the same thing, huh? Well, it's nice, and we should mention that Rosanna is not with us this morning because those Scrooges over at Fox wouldn't let her come on because it sweeps,
All right,
right?
now, easy trigger. We got updates to do. Anyway, join us tomorrow. Bon Jovi will be here to sing us a love song, and we're going to play the dating game. How fun is that? So,
This is Today, watched by more viewers than any other morning news program ever.
You heard Michael Jackson tell his side of the story. Monday, what you haven't heard. About plastic surgery, sex accusations, his fatherhood troubles. Michael Jackson Unmasked, a special Dateline. Monday, 10/9 Central on NBC.
Dale, thanks for being designated driver.
No problem, man.
What's up? Make a left up here. Hey, Mr. Fisher! Okay, make a quick left and then slow down. Cindy! Cindy! What's going on? Make a right on Havermeyer. What's up? Make a left on Jackson.
Dude, where exactly do you live?
I'll right back by the bar. Hey, Bobby!
There's a message in our home, our schools, our communities, and our family of community banks. Together, we can achieve more than any of us can alone. Bank of Leipzig, Citizens Bank of Delphus, the Union Bank Company. A united family of banks.
This week it's Dave's anniversary, and you're going to love the savings. Frozen turkey breast, 4 to 7 pound average, 95 cents a pound. USDA T-bone steaks, $3.95 a pound. California large seedless navel oranges, 18 cents each. Wholesome soft twist bread, 20-ounce loaves, 68 cents each. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, 24-pack cans, $4.99. And Shinkles quarts of milk, chocolate 2%, skim or buttermilk, 39 cents. Crazy prices this week at Dave's Markets.
Today's Professionals is brought to you by MPS Weight Loss and Wellness. Lose weight and improve your health without drugs, shakes, or gimmicks. In Lima, call 221-3MPS and Findlay 422-3MPS for a free info session.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us, and welcome to Today's Professionals. Joining us in the studio this morning, we have MPS, and Nancy Downhauer is here. Nancy, you brought with you some guests from the Findlay office of MPS.
Yes. Deb and Hans Hansen, they're clients at our Findlay Center, and they enrolled about 4 months ago. And we had actually met in another setting and invited them to a seminar that we did there at the library talking about MPS. And Deb, I understand you came really to be supportive of your husband.
That's correct. But the more I heard about MPS that evening, the more it struck a chord with me, because I had just seen the doctor and he had diagnosed me with high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and osteoporosis. And so I decided that this was a program for me as well as for Hans, and decided that we could do this together and be supportive of one another. And so that's why we did it. I didn't want to go on medications.
I can understand that. And what kind of results have you had?
It's just been phenomenal. We both have so much more energy. Our friends have told us that we look a whole lot better than we did.
I think you said younger, didn't you? Nobody minds that. And, well, going down 2 dress sizes, even though weight wasn't really the issue, you said the pounds were kind of creeping up.
Right, the pounds were creeping up on me, and I had been trying to lose some weight, and I really wasn't doing it. I wasn't successful at all. But with the MPS program, just a different lifestyle. It's just choosing a different lifestyle that we have thoroughly enjoyed.
And a different lifestyle, but not a difficult lifestyle, right?
No, no.
You're very active in the community. I would assume
you
eat out. How many times a week?
Oh, at least 4 or 5.
And that's been easy to do on the program?
Very easy, very easy, yeah.
It's fun. Because, you know, we were looking at a grocery circular over the weekend, and we said, look, this is on sale, but we don't use that anymore.
Don't use it.
And don't miss it.
Right.
Don't use it, don't miss it. Find out about all the things that you don't need to use and the things that you won't miss. Remember, MPS is more than just weight loss. Help your wellness. If you're in the Findlay area, call now, 422-3MPS, or in Lima, 221-3MPS.
Relax in comfort on a fully reclining sofa, love seat, chair, or sectional. A huge selection on sale now. Don't delay, head for Say.
Anniversaries, birthdays, graduations, just to name a few. Need a gift? Then you need Dairy Drugs. Inside Dairy Drugs, Front Porch Gifts is filled with unique and varied candles, figurines, and seasonal treasures. Multiple suppliers, beautiful merchandising, and plenty of backstock means Dairy will have just the right gift, even if you're not sure yet what that is. Visit Dairy Drugs on Westwood Drive in Van Wert or online at dairydrugs.com. Need a gift? You need Dairy Drugs.
How can he do this? It's gonna be... Who hired the DJ? He canceled? A wedding with no music? I got it. I'll go online and download the music.
With Roadrunner High-Speed Online, you can access thousands of CDs. Click on Roadrunner Rhapsody and download music up to 50 times faster than dial-up.
Come on, the limo's here. Come on. Let's party.
Exceed your speed with Roadrunner High-Speed Online. Call 1-800-ROADRUNNER today to get Roadrunner installed free and $10 off your first 3 months.
WLIO Lima.